Nothing's what it seems, but I feel gravity is holding me down. It's there for all to see, through dirt and through debris. Everyone is leaving this forsaken town. I've lost the scenery, my mind's machinery. Seems like Hollywood is starting to catch fire. Under a starlit sky, I see you and I. In some way it gets me every time. We know just where you come from, we keep on falling. We're as lonely as you are. We know just what it feels like, we're counting dollars. We're as lonely as you are. We know just where you come from, we keep on falling. We're as lonely as you are. We know just what it feels like, we're counting dollars. We're as lonely as you are. I drove 1,000,000 miles to make it all worthwhile. Where can you take me? Where do you want me to be? Inside this carousel, it's either hell or hell, and there's no going back, there's nothing new to see. I lost the scenery, my mind's machinery. Seems like Hollywood is starting to catch fire. Under a starlit sky, I see you and I. In some way it gets me every time. We know just where you come from, we keep on falling. We're as lonely as you are. We know just what it feels like, we're counting dollars. We're as lonely as you are. We're as lonely as you are. We're as lonely as you are.
Today is the beginning of the end and the start of a new beginning. Time has come to refine yourself and let go of the demons in your head that have held you in captivity for so long. It's time to flip the page and prove them wrong. It's time for rebirth. Yeah, time's up to say goodbye to all the haters, doubters, and non-believers trying to bring you down. In the blink of an eye, you'll realize that there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on. Finally, you will be free to live a life you love living instead of the life you think other people want you to live. Remember, you are the highest authority when it comes to knowing what you want and what you love. So stop trading yourself for the approval from others. Ladies and gentlemen, weirdos and geeks, please repeat after me. I don't give a fuck. What?
Target acquired.
Eagle 1, first strike, you have permission to engage the target.
Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
What's up, everybody? I'm back. Here we are. Time to go. Good afternoon out there, everybody watching this live. And people that aren't, well, you can watch it on the VOD. It's cool. It's all good. Live's better. All right. Anyway, look, man, I've got my coffee. Got some energy drinks over here. I flew in late last night from, or actually this morning from Arizona. Got on the plane at midnight. Got off the plane at 5 a.m. local. And hadn't had just a ton of sleep. So we're going to see how well I behave today. May not be very well. I do have a guest in the back. I'm going to do a little monologue action here. Then I'm going to bring him up, and we're going to have some fun there. So that'd be cool. Things we're going to have to talk about today is this Canadian airliner yesterday that decided to punt a fuel tanker and lost. Can't play chicken on the runway, guys. It's just not cool. We're going to talk about that. I got some good pictures of that. It's just interesting. We got DC cage matches. It looks like it's going to come down Kent versus Mullins. We've got an Ranger versus, I don't know what his qualifications are, but probably not very good to get in a cage match with Joe Kent. And we've got the Strait of Hormuz. We're going to talk about that. Got to talk about that. That's going to be good. It's jacking up your gas bills, jacking up a lot of different things around the world, but there may be some sanity on the horizon in the housing market. We'll talk about that a little bit. And going to be a good day, ladies and gentlemen. Good day. Before I get into the monologue, I'm just going to go ahead and bring old Gibbsy up, and we'll just chat with him for a couple of minutes. What's up, my man? How are you? Well, you know, I changed. I midstreamed. Audible. That is a Crucible mug, by the way. You should go get yourself one. They're awesome. They come in two sizes, small and my size. That's the one I get, man. I have to have my caffeine, baby. Especially today. How you been, Gibbs? It's been a minute. Awesome, dude. Yeah. You don't hear Gibbs? I hear Gibbs fine.
Can you hear me now?
You were a little low.
Yeah, I think what happened was I was muted. Can y'all hear me now? Yeah, so I'll rehash that. Best month I've had. Guys, we're 8 subs away from making our sub goal for the month a week early. So, guys, sub to Gibbs on Twitch if you're here watching. YouTube-wise, yeah, like I said, I got monetized this week, guys. So that's exciting. You know, so check it out. Follow me there.
Monetization is always super cool.
Yeah, so guys, now you're gonna start seeing me now that we got the backlog. We're gonna push the shorts. I've been doing some interesting stuff the last couple of days. We did a big St. Patty's Day stream with Nodi. Obviously, if you weren't here for that, the VOD doesn't exist. In fact, if you ever see me do sloshing, that VOD is not going to exist. So you be sure to tune in live. I can't even talk. Be sure to tune in live. Yeah, it's been good, Grid. I'm glad that you're doing well. I watched a little bit of your thing when you said I'm in Arizona shooting. I turned on your thing. I was like, oh, he's doing it over there. I'm gonna go take a gander.
It's tough to do that on the road when you don't bring all the stuff with you.
Yeah,
because I had all the. See, it's a matter of weight, right? So I'm allowed basically a little bit of.
Is that why you fly everywhere? That's why you really got your pilot's license, so you can take all the guns.
It is actually one of the biggest reasons I'm getting my.
I fucking knew it.
The reason that I'm flying my own planes is because
I goddamn knew it.
It's just so much more convenient. I literally was stuck in Arizona yesterday. I finished up yesterday at about 1:00. So the way this worked is I shot 4 stages first day. I shot 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then I went, and the next day I shot 9, 10, 11, and 1 and 2. 1 and 2. The following day I come in and I shot 3 and 4. So yesterday I shot stage 3 and 4, finished up around noon. Did walk the prize table. I was done. It might have been 2:00 when I got in, 2:30, something like that. And so, but my flight didn't board until 11:15 last night. So
nice.
I was like, what am I going to do for 7 fucking hours?
I don't mind the late night flights if you know that you're going to do that. Like I did that the other day, and they moved my flight to like when I was leaving, was it Tennessee? I think they moved my flight to like 11 p.m., which would have been fine if I'd known that was going to happen. Then I could have gone, but I got there and I couldn't even go into the back area because you can't go into the back area unless you're 4 hours there. So I'd sit at the hotel, not the hotel, at the lobby in the fucking place. And of course, they're like, oh, Nashville, we got live music. And I'm like, bitch, I really don't want to hear live music for the next 8 hours. I want to fucking find a place to drink. I can't drink. This is bullshit.
Right. I was it was funny because I was, in Arizona, there's like one place to sit. Maybe there were like 2 places to sit. And I'm just like waiting. So until I can hit that 4-hour mark and could go check in. But
Bobby Gibbs also losing a bunch of weight, Greg. Look at we're getting skinny now. Haha. We can start mogging people.
Yeah. Well, that's good, man. I heard that you've been hitting the gym, been working out.
Yeah, we've been doing all sorts of stuff. We're gonna try to get back into grappling here next year, maybe. I found out my body's a little bit worse shape than I thought it was. Not from the cardio, obviously that, but like we got more metal than I thought I had in my body.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
So, but yeah, I had I just had I had a great match for me personally because my goal was not to actually do very well at the match. My goal was to go out and get content, talk to people, line up interviews and all that kind of stuff. And so that actually was like the thing I needed to do. And I did that. That was cool. And I shot like I haven't shot, I shot that major match like I hadn't shot a major match in 2.5 years. And I kind of, it wasn't my best performance, but it was fine. But yeah, definitely the weight limits and everything, and just having to wait around. If I had flown one of my planes in, I would have literally returned the rental car. I would have had to have Ubered over to the other side of the airport to the private side instead of the commercial, and got on my plane and just fucking left. Just threw my shit in the back and gone. And but no, it was fine. It was a good time. And it's, that was pretty cool. And, it's such a weekend, man. We got so much happened. You had Chuck Norris died.
Yeah. He was a pallbearer at his own funeral. Did you see that?
The reason they weren't really talking about it was because he's like, I feel a little tired. And she didn't take it seriously, and then he just passed away. Like,
yeah. I mean, I saw that he was a pallbearer at his own funeral. That's impressive.
Yeah, was he? Yeah, that's probably gonna happen.
Oh, it already
he was
happened.
The only pallbearer at his funeral.
Yeah, he actually died 5 years ago, but death didn't get the courage to tell until now.
That's right. It took a lot of alcohol involved to get that one.
Bro, I was laughing. What if everybody stopped dying tomorrow after Chuck Norris died?
Right.
Because he fucking beat death's ass.
Well, not because we had the two pilots died in that crash where the airliner hit last night. Did you see that?
Yeah, somebody sent me that this morning. They hit like a fucking fuel truck.
The pictures
are
crazy, man. It's like I have the hang on, I'll share this. It's kind of crazy, man, where this thing just like it looks like it's trying to hunt this fuel truck or what's left of one. Like, and the only people that died were the two pilots. So now I'm not sure everybody is getting their luggage back. I'm not sure about that, but you can't play chicken with a fuel truck, man. You can't do it. Don't do that.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
No, don't want to do that. But yeah, that's so we had that going on, and so I was wondering because all of a sudden all the flights from or to New York were canceled when I was.
Well, of course.
And I was like, huh, what happened? Last time I was in an airport and that happened, that was September 11th, 2001. So something big happened then. So I was like, well, what happened?
Coincidentally, Grid also may or may not have been the guy training the pilots, but coincidentally,
Yeah. So I was in California, man, September 11th. And I was sitting there. I remember I tried to check my bag, right? And they weren't checking bags. I said, there's something going on. And I finally got out of the lady that there's something on a plane. And I was like, okay, so there's a bomb on a plane somewhere. All right, cool. That's awesome. And then I walked over to Starbucks. And I'm sitting there. I place my order. I get my coffee. I look up the TV because I got nothing else to do. And there's a freaking plane, boom, into the side of the building. It's just nuts. Crazy. Like I watched it happen live.
Yeah.
And then I was stuck in California for almost a week. Yeah, it was not very cool. So that was so the Canadian thing was very interesting. I'm not really sure what those guys were. So apparently the air traffic controller is responsible for this. Apparently he was, maybe he was sleep deprived a little bit. Maybe he was, kind of tired or just wasn't paying attention. But it looks like what happened is the ATC cleared the fuel truck to cross the runway while this airplane was taxiing along at like 24 miles an hour and just fucking destroyed that fuel truck. So
I destroyed some Pinocha one time like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Oh man. And then let's see. All right. So talking about grappling and fighting and whatnot. Have you been watching this between Joe Kent and Mark Mullen, Mark Wayne, whatever his fucking name is? I believe it's Mark Wayne.
I'm not.
I can't hear you, too far from your mic.
I know. 1 second.
All right, guys. Anyway, so apparently the backstory is the this moron, I'm using that term as constructively as I can, right? So Joe Kent and Mullen are like totally different people. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but like Kent is ex-Army, Ranger, Green Beret, I think 10 or 11 combat deployments. He then went into the CIA as their paramilitary force. The CIA's paramilitary force, right? Like, just insert goon squad, death squad, whatever other kind of, colloquialism you would like there. His wife was CIC, or she was basically an Army intelligence person, and she died in Syria during an ISIS attack. So the ISIS killed his wife in Syria. He's raising his 2 or 3, or I think he's got at least 2 kids, raising them by himself. Hasn't remarried. He is a Trump loyalist. Despite what, of course, he resigned, and his resignation letter to Trump was like I would give him full props for the resignation. He doesn't believe in it. He doesn't want to do it. He's out. Simple, easy to understand. And so just, I don't know if you know, but he ran the National Counterterrorism Center. Okay. So, he's the guy that they, that sends people out to deal with the ISIS and all of those kind of characters, right? It's March 17th, it's a few days ago, he resigns, boom, just boom, resign, right? And it's over the Iran war. In his estimation, Iran posed no immediate threat, that we started the war due to pressure from Israel and its lobby here in America. That's his opinion. He says, and in his letter, he's like, still backs Trump, just can't be a part of this, right? And he says and much along the lines of where I'm at, we don't want to send more Americans to die in one of these manufactured bullshit wars, conflicts. Trump called him weak, which is weird that Trump calls, a ex-Army Ranger weak. Those guys are, just going through selection is really fucking hard. And of course, Mitch McConnell, who I mean, jury's out on Mitch lately. Mitch McConnell labels him as anti-Semitic, which I think is really weird. Anyway. And Democrats are hailing this as MAGA fracturing in real time. I don't know if you guys know that. That's what the Dems are saying. This is MAGA fracturing in real time, which is horseshit. Okay, all right. So
yeah, the Dems are desperate for any win they can get.
Yeah. But I mean, look, it's Joe Kent. He's a combat vet. He actually fought in the sandbox that we're sending people now. Like of all the people in DC to call weak, he's not the guy, right? Like to question his motives here is wrong because he went to that sandbox. He did the thing. He really, he walked away on principle, right? Like he's just like, look, I think this is bullshit. I'm out. And I don't agree with him, right? But I respect the fact that he said, look, I'm out. Just pencil me out. On the other side of this conflict that we've got going on here in the Senate is Mark Wayne. It is, I had to check. It is one word, Mark Wayne. Mark Wayne Mullen from Oklahoma, who apparently claims to be, I thought I already had joined that, but we got you there.
There you go.
All right. Anyway, so Mullen claims to be a Cherokee guy, right? Has never done a DNA test, never turned, never doesn't speak the language, never lived on the res, none of that shit, right? So he was a member of the House of Representatives. Again, claims to be Cherokee Nation citizen or member or whatever the fuck. He's a plumber who somehow became a millionaire and saved his family business. Okay. He's an undefeated amateur MMA fighter. I think that's an interesting thing when we talk about Mullen, is he actually has been in the ring and gotten punched in the face a bunch.
That's good.
Right? Now, he hasn't actually been to war, but he's been punched in the face a lot. Right?
Yeah. Amen. I know from experience what that's like.
Right. And so Trump picked him to run Homeland Security. Okay. I believe his confirmation hearing was last week. He got into it with Rand Paul, which I thought was fucking. I don't know if you watched that. It was pretty interesting, right? And I guess because him and Paul have sniped at each other over the years, Mullen called Rand Paul a snake and said he understood why Paul's neighbor assaulted him in 2017.
That's funny.
It is funny, right? Like, I understand why you got punched in the face. I mean, it's right. And apparently he's like, Paul was like, tell it to my face. Something about anger issues. I don't remember the exact quote, but so Paul basically said, you've got anger issues, young man. You tell it to my face. Anyway, Mullen doesn't apologize. Paul says that he's a no vote on the nomination to Homeland Security, and the rest of the GOP is going to push it through. But Paul's just standing on principle here, and it's like, fuck you guys. I don't like this guy. I don't like this asshole. So, it's interesting. It's an interesting deal, and they're talking shit about each other, back and forth. Kent and Mullen, and it's just a lot. Like it's very interesting. We look at the online drama, then we look at what's going on in DC, and that's almost more entertaining than the online shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny how like politics mimics real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's a new era, and people are just like this. I know, like I feel like really what's even more so that's important about Trump that's happened is this idea of like political correctness is gone. Like if you got a problem, people are saying it in people's faces now. Like, I don't like you, I don't like this. And like used to, I guess, I mourn civility, but like if you recall back in our history, in Congress, there was a lot of goddamn duels fought.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we need to go back to a little bit of this. I think too many people have been afraid to get punched in the mouth, and now it's time to be punching people in the mouth. We got problems.
Yeah.
Beat each other up. They go to Whataburger or something afterwards.
It's kind of weird that the UFC fighter who apparently he's had to have been punched in the face. If you're a UFC guy, you're getting punched in the face. It's weird that he puts on the tough guy act, but I mean he couldn't handle Rand Paul calling him reminding him that he had called Rand Paul a snake at one point, right? Like, I don't know. That doesn't seem very cool, but it's interesting. All of this, all the feelings in Washington these days. It's
the feelings, bro.
Yeah, it's underwhelming. But like on one side you've got Kent who just quietly walks away and says, "Fuck it, I'm done. You guys, I don't want to be a part of this fuck up train," right? And then you got Mullen over here going to, basically getting ripped into by Rand Paul, who, by the way, Rand Paul is not exactly intimidating. I mean, he's from Kentucky. I mean,
I would say he's
probably
0% intimidating.
What's that?
He's 0% intimidating.
0%.
And he's like second generation, like politician. Like, no offense, but that guy also never been punched in the mouth.
Yeah. I mean, he's from Kentucky. He's probably thrown hands once or twice, but I get it.
I mean, maybe with his daddy's preppy friend's sons. Like, come on.
Yeah, I don't know. So, but anyway, I just thought that was interesting. It's an interesting thing going on. And by the way, in the headlines, again, when all of this kind of shit happens, I start looking at what like is really going on and what I should be paying attention to, like Iran, right? Like this whole Iran situation where depending on which news source you read, we're either about to surrender the entire United States to Iran, or Iran's getting shelled 24/7, or Israel's being bombed back to the camels, to where they'll be riding camels again. It's interesting. It's interesting the amount of garbage going on, right?
Yeah, I mean, but what's really crazy is like anybody can just go on fucking Google Earth and see who's
right. So it's always interesting because like every year this time of year, gas has a surge in price because of increased demand. People start traveling and shit, and then it settles back down. It takes like mid-April, I think, maybe early May, and then demand eases a little bit, and it kind of goes back down. So, but obviously we're a little bit beyond that. Kent and Tucker have an information conspiracy. You're right. Yeah, one of my chat hosts says that don't forget that there's a whole conspiracy theory around Kent and Tucker. Like,
oh yeah.
Well, first of all, anybody thinks Tucker Carlson can be part of a conspiracy? You've got something wrong in your head. That guy can't stop talking, right? Like I don't care what you tell him. You tell him anything, everybody in the world's going to know about it in the next 24 hours.
He was like, he really disappointed me, man. Like after he got like his own, like he broke away from Fox, and he had all that traction. He did the Putin interview, and then he did a couple other ones. All of a sudden, he just became like, listen, I know some people are pro Putin, but he's like the biggest like simp I've ever seen for Putin outside of Lactoid. And I'm just like, bro, the Putin's not our friend. China's not our friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not our friend. We can be friends with Russia. No, we fucking can't. Just like we couldn't be friends with Iran. Just like we couldn't have been friends with Venezuela. Like, these are like perennial enemies. But he's over here like, Putin, can I have some more head, please? Like,
what's interesting about Tucker to me is I think he's even more contrarian than Candace Owens. Like whatever everyone else thinks or agrees with, Candace Owens gonna be like exact opposite side. So's Tucker Carlson. If you told Tucker Carlson today that the United States needed to sever all, that Trump was severing all ties with Israel, and we were going to back Putin in the peace talks. If you told Carlson that today, he would not celebrate. He would flip sides overnight, saying that Trump's doing it as a sellout. Fuck that guy. He shouldn't be doing this. We should be. Yeah, I mean, I much like you. I've lost respect for a lot of people who I had a fair amount of respect for previously. I actually used to respect Tucker Carlson. I thought that he would, he told the hard truths and he did the cool work, right? But now, near as I can tell, like that dude flip flops like a fish on the deck of a boat.
Yeah, he he's just sus, bro. It's just like I don't know. I don't want to say he's fucking on the fucking take, but y'all remember when all that Russia Gate shit came out with like Benny Johnson? Benny Johnson has said some not flattering things about Russia a few times, right? Since then, now he's probably still more pro Russia than some other people, but he's not over here let me get some of that dick Putin, but Tucker Carlson almost feels like a paid propagandist at this point, and I'm just
well, I mean, I feel the same way about Candace Owens. Somebody.
She's another one, bro. But Candace is the prime example. Someone just needs to take a dick and shut the fuck up.
I want to talk about this Iran thing for a minute because we got my chat's getting fired up, and we may have to start fighting with the chat here a little bit because they're saying some really stupid ass shit. But
what's the chat? What do you expect?
Yeah, it's a chat. I have these people who are like professional haters that come over here and they try and talk shit, and then when I prove them wrong, they
I don't know anything about professional haters,
and they start crying, and those tears fuel me for days. Anyway, all right, so let's just look at the last 7 days because the last week I buried my mom. I've got a bunch of financial shit with her estate that's just completely fucked up that I've got to deal with. I shot a match across the country. By the way, it was like 105 degrees daily. 105 fucking degrees. In March, I sweat. I mean, I couldn't drink enough water. Paige, thank you for that. I appreciate your sympathies. It was honestly, it's more of a blessing than anything else. So, Natalia, yes, I used to like Candace. I used to believe that she was a genuine convert, but I think the reality is that Candace Owens is just absolutely fucked in the head.
She's fucking crazy. She's always been kind of sus. She's like, I don't know. Not this. You know who's fucking hilarious though? And is really been killing it? Michael Knowles, bro. His little barroom series shit.
Bro.
Oh, so
that
fucking
dude has
funny.
Been killing it. I used to
every day he's hilarious.
Michael Knowles is a panty waist who just was literally just simping for all these girls. And I've actually seen a couple of his episodes where he's holding the feet to the fire. And I gotta be honest with you, I like Michael Knowles more and more.
And once you figure out his sense of humor, you're like, oh, that's pretty fucking funny. Oh, that's because he's just very deadpan, and you're like, oh, he's being after you're like, oh shit, this guy's actually trolling. It's hilarious.
They don't call her Kooky Candace for nothing. I'm going to use that from now on. But let's just look at the last 7 days. U.S. and Israeli strikes have been hammering the Iranian missile factories, just absolutely crushing them. The nuclear sites have been bunker busted. Their petroleum research centers, their air bases, have all been targeted. Iran tried to fire back with these long-range ballistic missiles that not only did we see the entire flight of these supposed hypersonic missiles, neither one of them actually made it as far as they were supposed to make it. So while one side of the press is saying this is a huge success and we should fear the Iranians, the reality is fuck those guys. Their missiles are literally bullshit, and we don't care.
Yeah, they were like, they launched over Diego Garcia. It's so impressive. It's got double the range. I'm like, they didn't fucking hit anything.
They did.
They landed. I was like, bro, they're like, oh, Europe should be
Almost
trembling.
missed the whole fucking ocean.
I'm like, bro, what? Like, it's just like so desperate for like, oh, look at the impact.
Right.
I'm like, bro, I you know the military, the guys at Diego Garcia were just like laughing.
Yes, yeah. The especially the guys who know about missiles and shit. There's a guy I listen to a lot that knows about missiles, and he was a missile. He started out like on the missile trucks, and then he moved up and became like an engineer or something. Like he really knows his shit when it comes to missiles. It's awesome. So they were trying to hit the Diego Garcia base in the middle of the not Pacific, Indian Ocean. Again, one outright failed. One got intercepted, which means that we just threw something at it and knocked it down. But now they have hammered a bunch of Israeli towns with cluster munitions. That seems to be the only thing working for them. It also seems to be about the only thing they have left. Let's just be honest. And they just don't have they just seem to be running out of things to throw at us. But now, oil prices are through the roof. The global markets are puking. And personally, I kind of like that. First of all, I've always said that we ought to be getting our oil out of Alaska, Texas, and South Dakota, and fuck the Middle East. But nobody listened to me, and maybe now you will, because I remember when they were fracking up there in Wyoming and South Dakota and North Dakota, and pulling oil out of the ground faster than OPEC could buy senators. It was hilarious, and the entire the only reason that we stopped that shit is because when oil went below $50 a barrel, the OPEC started screaming bloody murder, and we can't have that now, can we? We need to do it again.
Well, I tell you what. I mean, people are like, oh, oil prices are so high, they're going to go up. And I mean, I think that your chat said it's dropped below under 100. I haven't looked at prices today, but you know what's going to permanently lower the price of oil?
When we
fucking Iran being gone, going right.
when we
get
rid of that shit. Now we did. Yeah. Now look,
people are like, oh, we can't bomb them. We're like running out of weapons.
Right?
They're like, we're running out of weapons and bombs. I'm like, no. We're just running out of our tier 1 shit. We got like bukus of bullshit we can start dropping. But we might as well start cleaning out the old stuff. I just don't understand why people are like, oh, they're going to shut down. Like we have 2 carrier groups there. We literally have 9 more. We could rotate somebody else out there. No problem. Let's find out that China wants to move to Taiwan. I don't think people understand how powerful America actually is. I have this one dude in my chat who just cannot accept that he's wrong about so many things. We've already proven to not Lowe's to, and now we'll have to prove to you, Work Academic, that most of U.S. oil does not, in fact, come from Canadian land. It does not. That's right.
They can't. They buy oil from other places. So let's
and us.
But no, that's insane. Canada doesn't produce that much oil. That's why they're a poor nation.
You know what they produce?
Afford to feed their fucking people.
They produce maple syrup, and you know what's just crazy? Maple trees are a struggle. Remember I was telling you about bananas? Maple tree. Another one having some problems too.
Vermont maple syrup's better than Canadian maple syrup. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I mean, they're both sweet, and I'm not gay, so you can enjoy your maple syrup and tuck your dick back. It's an indicator. Yeah. That's what I'm told.
Hey, I got my friendly neighborhood Canadian in here, Jay Eakin. Good to see you in the chat. So I actually, we had several Canadians at the match this weekend. They came down from Canadian land to Arizona where they could be free. They could be free.
Yeah, so free.
America has sour crude. You're an idiot. Texas sweet crude is the best oil on the fucking planet.
I don't know about that, but I'll take it because God bless Texas.
Yeah, Texas sweet is best. Which is, by the way, why we don't sell that shit.
You know, California can't even use American oil because they they shut down their fucking refineries that refine their blend.
Entire Chevron facility right there off of right in San Francisco Bay. I used to go over there and hang out. They was like right near the shooting range I shot at a lot. And every time I was in town, I would go and hang out because they have a private shooting range on the Chevron plant. And they were cool. But I think they closed. If they haven't closed the whole facility down, they've closed like most of it down. All right. Anyway, so what else? We got what are we on? Like week 3, 4 of this war?
I think this is the 3rd week, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more of a country ass whipping than a war.
Yeah, it is more like an ass whooping.
Yeah. Like they are catching the hands.
Oh, you're a Canadian. Where I forgot that Work Academic is a Canadian.
I mean, if you talk about Canada, like and California only imports oil because they're fucking retarded. Like, if they were smart, they would have just fucking changed some of the regulations. They could be using the oil that we refine here, but instead they want to be fucking extra bougie and just, destroy their economy.
They did do that. I mean, that plant did shut down. I mean, they've shut down all of the refineries over there that Chevron had. That had to have been a huge blow to the economy. I just don't understand why they did that. There wasn't anything wrong with them doing it.
Well, it couldn't be good. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they're fleeing in mass.
Yeah.
From Cali.
So this Strait of Hormuz thing, are you up on that? Have you?
Oh, I'm up on my Iran war, boy. Let me tell you, Papa Gibbs got the war tracker. We got the bomb tracker. What question, bro? You think I'm joking? I'm not. I got where they're landing. I got what we're firing. I got how much they're firing and with what kind. Papa Gibbs track. And guess what? My stocks are through the goddamn roof. It's fucking wonderful, boys. Best invest in the military industrial complex. You should do that.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? We're building a new USO, unmanned submersible, whatever fucking vehicle plant in Texas. We took the Shaheeds and we fucking re-engineered and made them better. And now we're going to be producing the American, I think they're going to call it American Eagles or something, for like $40K a pop, which is more than what theirs cost. But it's still way cheaper than anything else we got going, and we're already using that shit against them, and it's only getting better. And now we're getting all the tech from Ukraine and Israel, all that tech. But it's just all wins, really. Like, I just don't like people are just.
Are you tired of winning? Are you?
I'm not. I'm having a great time. Like,
other
people are mad. People are real mad.
So, do you think that let me throw that, because I want to ask you, because I know that you'll have a take on this. It's like nuclear. So, do you think that the United States is going to end up basically owning the Strait of Hormuz?
I think so. I mean, or we're going to fundamentally just like force other people to like take it over. I mean, we really hurt fucking London, like not London, Lloyd, like the UK with like taking over for insuring, and then we're saying we're going to send our ships through. Like that's big time.
So I'm going to address this Work Academic moron. Yes, correct. We import heavy crude from Canada. I think maybe you're misinterpreting something. You send us the crude here because you dumbasses can't refine it. And we can. So then you buy it back from us, just like you buy shit from everybody else on the planet because you can't produce shit. So you need to admit you're wrong, right? Canada is this thing with Canadians, right? They're literally their entire and by the way, Work Academic, Elon Musk is worth more as a single human being in America than your entire GDP for the year.
Alabama's got a bigger GDP than fucking Canada now.
Like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Like, what
some cities in Texas had bigger GDPs. Some cities by themselves in Texas had bigger GDPs than all of Canada. Like Houston and the Metroplex, the Dallas Metroplex, had more fucking GDP. Like not even counting DFW or anything outside like Cyprus or outside, just mainline Houston and mainline Dallas. And then you want to combine what the actual cities look like bro, y'all are fucking up.
Oh, you
know,
never
that was
mentioned
Alberta.
anything
They're about
about
to join the
buying
US.
back the gas. Oh, yeah, but that's why we don't buy it from you. We don't
Yeah,
import
you just
shit.
conveniently left out
You
that part.
send us your crude so that we can process it and send it back. That's not us importing shit. That's you sending us shit, right?
Dumbasses. So you notice what he did there. He tried to get you with a gotcha. Yeah, we send our crew to you. Yeah, but then he left out why they were sending it here.
Right.
You know, that's just like when I was on the other night with
Never mentioned anything about buying back the gas.
Well, this is a typical lefty debate tactic. They'll say something. Is this part true? Is this part true? And then they won't let you be like, well, hold on. It says this part's true, but then you're leaving out like the key part of this. And you're just hyper focusing on one
importing it, right?
Yeah,
importing it means that we buy it from you. You're paying us to refine it. Do you understand the difference? Do you think Americans are paying you for the crude, refining it, and then selling it back to you? I mean, which would be great. If we do it at a profit, that'd be fine. But that's not us importing it for our use, you dumb fuck. Also, still not more than you are still not the main source of oil for us. We actually don't need to buy oil from anyone. So you're the one that brought up buying gas back. I simply said that we refine the oil for you. So anyway, Strait of Hormuz. I think we're going to own that shit. I think that this is a path that's going to be taken. I think what they're going to do is they're going to basically say that the Strait of Hormuz has had this long history of being under control by these Arab nations that cannot handle it. There's the Somali pirates. There's the Houthi rebels. There's all of these fuckers that shoot at boats on the way through. They're billions of dollars a year are lost in insurance payments, and I think what's going to end up happening is it's going to be a coalition headed by the U.S. that ends up basically creating like they do around the lakes, where they say that this is Corps of Engineer property or U.S. Army property. That's what they're going to say. It's like you can't build anything here, and if we catch you here, we're going to shoot you. And and I think that's what's going to happen. Now, maybe not. I could be wrong about that. Japan sent Godzilla. That's funny.
Hold on. So Spin City wants to know if you can join us and talk to us. Do you know Spin City?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. I'll send you a link then.
Throw in the link.
Yeah, I will.
So it doesn't seem like a lot, but about 20 to 25% of the seaborne oil trade goes through the Strait of Hormuz. And then, of course, there's LNG, liquid natural gas. And then there's fertilizers and all sorts of other stuff that go through the Strait of Hormuz. So,
yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. But it's crazy because now the Gulf nations are getting involved.
Yes. Right. Well, that's what it was supposed to be the whole time, right? That's what it was supposed to be the whole time. The entire purpose of all of these negotiations, the whole purpose of the negotiations in the first place was to get the 8 or 9 major Arab states or Gulf states to basically take over the enforcement in the Middle East so that we could pull our troops out and stop being the enforcement arm in the Middle East, which is horseshit. We ought not be the enforcement arm in the Middle East at all.
I don't know which panel they did it dirty. Was it the one I was on? Page?
Oh, so who did Spin City dirty? What happened there?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Which one are you talking about? I know he does panels like every night, and every day. So I don't know. You're gonna have to be a little more specific than that.
Mm-hmm. I think Work Academic is desperately grokking and ChatGPTing a way to dig his ass out of this dumbass point that he's made. So, what's up, man? How are you?
What's up, brother? How are you doing? Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Still trying to get this set up.
Yeah, no worries.
Hold on a sec. Date. The Hangover Edition. All right.
What? Who's hungover? You?
Oh, there's my friend is playing a game.
Oh,
And it's actually Skyanna's playing a game. They're playing Baldur's Gate, and there's a guy on there that looks like Mike Tyson. So I was like, bro, it's Mike Tyson. It's Baldur's Gate, the fucking Hangover Edition. Because, he's in the Hangover or whatever.
gotcha.
Yeah, it's called Witty Humor, boys. Witty Humor. Gibbs has got a lot of that.
City. What do you got for us?
Well, I was listening to a little bit of it, and I apologize. So give me the topic really quick.
Talking about how Iran is taking a country ass whooping.
That's
pick
a fact.
topic, man. We've talked about. We started out with.
That is a fact.
We started out with Kent versus Mullen, kind of contrasting the two, and how it seems like DC is just becoming a drama mill even more than normal. And every time it does that, I start looking for the things that they don't want me to see. And then we talked about. I mean, obviously, we're talking about the Iran war, with all of that cool stuff going on.
Yeah, here's one thing I keep saying. So people are like, oh yeah, the war is going to cause gas prices to go up in the interim, right? Like in the short term, and everybody's talking about that, right? And I get that it's kind of right before the midterms, maybe. But if you secure that route, that's in perpetuity. Gas prices are going to be low.
Yeah, I mean, I think that any moron can see that if we secure, if what Trump originally said that he wanted does come to pass, right? Where he first of all gets us out of the Middle East as the enforcement arm, so that we can stop being hated universally in the Arab states and in the Middle East, period. I mean, we still be hated, but we won't be there. They won't be able to point.
You know why they hate us? Because they had empires, and now we got fucking one ship that could take out their whole empires.
Right.
Get some, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then once you're hold on, I didn't say that we do not import oil from Canada, you dumb fuck. You said that we import most of our oil from Canada, and you were fucking wrong. And I proved you wrong. I proved Notlo's too wrong, the same thing the other night. I don't have time to keep addressing your bullshit point that we import most of our oil from Canada. Shut the fuck up, because you lose every time you try and make a point, because you go in half-assed, you don't know what you're talking about, and you rely on Grok and ChatGPT or PT, whatever the fuck it is. I don't use it, so I don't know. But you need to get a fucking job and maybe an education. An education will work out for you.
I like him already.
That's right. I had to do
it. Bro, listen.
He literally made this bold ass claim that we import most of our oil from Canada, and I'm like, no, we don't. We barely.
You know what they're doing? Let me give you a Gibbs debate little thing right here. This is what they're doing right here. This is why. And I've Paige is here, and I can show you. Use an example when Paige was here, right? So the other day when they came on, they kept doing the same thing this guy's doing. They want you to say something specific, and the reason why Gibbs won't say yes or no is I'm going to say something, but I'm not going to let you just get the little thing. And so this is kind of what they did there. They're like, oh, we got him to say this one little thing. And now we're just going to spam. Oh, he's wrong. And so, this is why if you give a mouse a cookie kind of thing, you just can't give them the little. You can't you want to be good faith on these things, but you just almost can't anymore, because then they do this shit.
Okay, so that is called the court of the uncommon opinion, right? I mean, look, gas prices are going to go up, right? They're going to go up because of what's going on in the Middle East, because everybody's sitting there shaking because, oh my God.
All right, I got to end this. I'm sorry. I got to end this discussion with this dumbass. Let me, I gotta get the right tab here. Sorry. All right. Nalos Tube did the same shit the other night. 4.42%. 4.42% of oil in the U.S. comes from Canada. We could piss that away. The only reason we do it, the only reason we import it is to help you dumb fucks out because you need the money because you're poor. I can't help it that your nation's poor, but you're fucking poor.
Real poor. Your
entire GDP is less than half of what Elon Musk is worth. Do you understand?
Poor.
Do you understand that? You're fucking
Mississippi
poor.
mud poor. Poor.
You are poorer than Gibbs' Arkansas relatives.
That's right. I don't have any Arkansas relatives, but
I'm telling
they
you,
would be poor.
And you lose this point. If it was, you just said 50% of the oil imported to the United States comes from Canada, and you're fucking wrong. It's 4.42%.
Get wrecked.
4.42%.
Wrecked.
That's fucking pennies. I mean,
we piss on that. Honestly, if 50% of our oil came from Canada, gas prices wouldn't fucking move, you dumb fuck.
No,
you literally can't win this argument. Like, you can't. You lose. You fucking lose. You need to do better. Get an education. I keep telling you.
You know, and I just did a little bit of research on this. Primary production, or excuse me, most of the oil in the U.S. comes from domestic production. There's that fucking word, domestic, or two words, domestic production, such as up into and including Texas, New Mexico, North Dakota, Oklahoma, and Alaska.
That's true.
Listen, everybody that has oil. Okay, let's go.
The U.S. Energy Information Administration. What's your source? Your mom?
Here's the fucked up part. Iran does not and will probably never have a contractual agreement or any type of agreement with the United States to get their shit ass oil. Number one, Iran sells their oil through what the hell is that? The spot market, basically. They do not have any exclusive contract with anyone. Okay, they may have one with China and whatever else, but a barrel of oil, and I don't know if you guys can get it faster than I can, what a barrel of oil costs right now, like in today's market.
You know what we should start doing? Just be like, here's a 55-gallon drum of wheat. Here's a 55-gallon drum of oil. Oh, you don't want like that? I guess we're going to keep our wheat, and you can keep your oil. We'll see who starts first. Right
now, a barrel of oil, or the current price of Brent crude oil, is approximately $107.99 per barrel, while WTI crude oil is around $98.10 per barrel.
That's
that
down,
is
by the way. That's
today.
down. That's down.
It's down. Just like a whore on nickel night. It went down.
What was it the other day, Gibbs? It was like almost $200 a barrel or some dumb shit like that.
I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't butt all my gas right before the war started. I haven't been driving very much, so I don't know.
He's being very quiet. My little nemesis out there is being very quiet. I know why. Because you went and asked your mom, and she said she was wrong.
He had to go up the basement steps, bro.
Right.
Yeah, he don't have no basement. He's too poor for that.
The storm cellar.
Yeah. No, he hiding out there with the grizzlies and the polar bears. No, what you mean? He out there with a tent and a satellite.
I guess my point is the war is causing inflation. All wars or conflicts or whatever, if you want to use semantics, right?
Nobody wants to do that.
I love semantics. I'm always up to semantics.
Okay,
God
well,
damn it.
I'll give you the semantic I'm referring to. A war is declared through the United States Congress. Up until this point, I have not had any confirmation that war with Iran has been declared by the United States Congress. The president of the United States, and we all know this to be fucking true, at least on the panel, I know that we know this to be true. The president of the
surprised what I
United
don't know.
States, the president, I won't, Gibbs. I won't. The president of the United States can enter a conflict for 60 days. Anything longer than 60 days, he has to get congressional approval to declare war or to continue. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Oh, what was I saying? Oh,
Continuous defensive action.
yes, continuous defensive action.
And
So
you can do that in perpetuity because Iran has declared war on us. The Ayatollah said he declared war on us.
okay, so that I just learned something, and I trust your word. So
It's in debate because he was the supreme leader of the country, right? So if he says, "I declare war on the U.S.," that's a declaration of war, right? But Congress, technically even though they declared war on us, technically Congress has to then declare war on them for it to be an actual war. But the president gets to, I think it's whatever you just said, 100 was 100.
it's 60 days. It's 60 days.
So 60 days.
I think that's constitutionally. I'm not sure.
So 60 days, and then he says, you know what, we're going to continue this, and then he just re-ups, right? Like just because it expires in 60 days, he can re-up it, and he still doesn't.
I don't know if he can without.
Well, that's literally how Afghanistan, Iraq, none of those were wars. Congress never endorsed any of those shit. There was never a declaration of war. So all that happens is every 60 days, the president says, yep, still not resolved. We're still in this defensive conflict thing or whatever. So, and now whether or not, and that's because I don't honestly believe that you could ever get a U.S. Congress to declare war again. I just don't believe you can, because they don't want the responsibility of saying that. And then when it's easier to just let the president carry that burden, right? That's my opinion. I can be wrong. That's an opinion, much like an asshole. It could smell.
Please forgive my suspect. I don't know, and I'm trying to look it up. I want to be factual. I don't know if the president can re-up. Sorry for the unintelligent word of conflict.
That's the word I would use. It just re-up it.
Yeah, re-up it. Like you got to go to your dealer.
I'm please forgive me. I just want to make sure that before I make the comment I want to make, it's factual.
Sure.
The only thing, the Ayatollah Khamenei, and that's what I call him.
Sure.
Yes.
I can go with that.
He has, since he has been in power, and from what I'm understanding and read, all previous and prior administrations, I use that word administration very loosely, has always proclaimed death to America. What my conflict is, why now? And maybe I'm not understanding it. Why now is it such a big deal, other than the nuclear or potential nuclear capabilities that Iran proclaimed or was proclaiming that they are very close to or has? That is my conflict with the whole thing.
So this is my summation of where I think this is supposed to go. I don't know if it'll get there, but this is where I think it's supposed to go. What Trump's trying to do is get us out of the Middle East permanently. Pager, you're echoing us.
Oh. Is that better?
Yeah.
Grid, I apologize.
Yeah, for
I
some reason
couldn't hear anything.
I couldn't hear that. Yeah, I didn't.
It's my
realize
bad.
it was
I
echoing.
apologize. Yeah.
So
If you could repeat it, I apologize.
yeah. So I'll give you my best summation of where I think Trump is trying to go with this, based on what he said and what internationally has been said. Right. So first, what I think he's trying to do is he's trying to get us out of the Middle East and let the Middle East nations, especially, and I think there are 8 what he considers Gulf states. There might be 9. I can never keep it straight.
I believe it's
matter.
8.
It doesn't matter, but basically, Qatar, the Emirates, Jordan, and so on and so forth, that are modern, have reasonable militaries, and are kind of working together along with Israel. And the only problem was Iran, right? And Iran, and I've used this for the last couple of weeks, I've used this. Iran is like that neighbor that even though you hate HOAs, you would call the HOA on that guy. Because he just, he's got cars up on blocks, he's got broken lawnmower in the driveway, his grass is 8 feet fucking tall, and he just doesn't, and he drives up and down the street leaking oil all over the place, and you just fucking hate everything he does, right? And that's the guy. That's Iran, right? Like, Iran is that neighbor that you just really want gone. And it's, and it's been that way for 70 fucking years, since like 1950. So what Trump has stated multiple times in multiple different ways is that he wants us to not be the enforcement arm. He wants the Gulf states to take over that role of being the enforcement arm to keep the Gulf states evened out, because and I think he's right, it makes more sense for the Arabic states to police the Arabic and other Islamic states than it does us as a Christian state to police them, because they resent us for doing that, and we resent them for resenting us doing that. And so you're creating a lot of hostility, and we have, again, for 70 years, we created all this hostility for no damn good reason that I can think of.
Well, Grid, just a fair point here. Isn't like the U.S. overseeing and supporting certain countries? Like, isn't there kind of like, with great power comes great responsibility?
We're still gonna have kind of like an advisory role, but this is like when you buy a company and you keep the management, but maybe you fire like the top 3 guys because they're assholes and you don't like them. This is kind of the same thing, right? And so we'll still be like, we'll be corporate headquarters in Milwaukee, and they'll be like, a subsidiary down in Arizona or somewhere. So,
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with what you're saying, Grid, at all. I mean, by no means do I want Iran to have, or a radical people with an ideology that at any given time they could fall off the wagon, if you will, and start firing.
That's why we need the other Gulf states to be so strong.
So, or we could just bomb them till they're the Stone Age, and then we don't have to worry about that either.
Yeah, we can't do that. And now look, they'll always blame us for all of it, because the whole reason they have nukes at all is because under Eisenhower's Atoms for Peace plan, we gave them the reactors, we gave them uranium, we gave it to them, and then we took it back, kind of, multiple times. And so
I think we took it back.
but again, so we keep being the bad guy here, and I think Trump's right. We first of all, they don't want us to be overseeing them. And honestly, I don't want to be overseeing them. If Saudi Arabia will do it and Jordan will do it, let those guys do it. Because you know what? They're the same faith. They're the same people, basically. And
well,
so
would you want
and they've all been fighting anyway for the last 10,000 years. So let them continue to, if they want to fight for another 10,000 years, I'm cool. What I don't want is I don't want to keep sending thousands upon thousands of Americans to die on land that isn't immaterial to us.
I don't know if I would want and this is personal opinion, right?
Sure.
I don't know if I would want Iran to collude or to have somebody else other than the United States, because at any given time, regardless of maybe political or parliamentary or administration, could become radical, and then you get them all on board, and then, in my opinion, I think we would have a problem on U.S. soil.
Yeah, like, isn't that the concern? Like, what are the agreements with Saudi Arabia, and how does the U.S. Have certainty with respect to oversight in terms of military and other operations if it was to instill some kind of governance for its neighboring countries that we're concerned about, right? Like, what would be that affiliation there?
Well, the first question that I would need to be answered to even
I'm not
give
really
it,
sure what. Hold on. I want to back before we get too far away from this. I want to make sure that we're all clear here. I don't give a fuck what happens in the Middle East at all.
Okay, so just let it.
They can turn each other into glass.
Well,
okay.
And I would not roll over in my sleep.
Well, Paige asked an interesting question there, because I've said I think, and this is going to be kind of callous when I say this, the best case scenario would be that they balkanize, like in some form or another, or like, I guess even better, that somehow we got like the most pro-America group ever in there, but that's not going to happen. So I think balkanization is much more realistic. And then I guess it's also like, do we really want to give Saudis that much power though? Like, I don't really trust them either. So, like,
I have a super chat coming through. It'll read it in a second. No, it won't. It's only $2. Won't read it. I'll have to read it. Grid, can you say national debt? How did Trump do? That's the only thing you got, bro? Is national debt? So he lost big time on the oil thing, right? Like, every point he brings up, I torch him on it. And now the only thing he can talk about is the national debt.
The oil thing was a weak argument. I mean, like, I understand there's legislative like limitations with respect to like how much crude you guys can process.
Yeah.
But it's still a weak argument, because legislation can change, for instance, through things like executive orders, like incoming bills, right? That can be provided that the midterms go successful in favor of the Trump administration, right? Which is drill, baby, drill, right?
Well, I mean, just go back to fracking. I mean, like fracking was freaking awesome. I mean, I was in Colorado when all that was going on, and there was tons of money. It was awesome, great. I don't want to get too far away from this idea. He's trying to lead us off of the more serious conversation here, and that is, I personally believe that if we get the fuck out of there, those countries will modernize again. Remember, in 1950, when we weren't fucking with them.
Yeah, but do you want that? Why do you want that? That's not a good thing.
The Paris of the Middle East. They were modern countries. They weren't. Yeah. They weren't.
That means they're going to have modern tech
around stoning women. That happened because we helped remove the Shah.
Yeah, we did that on purpose, though. For a reason.
And eventually,
don't want them to modernize.
The fundamentalists came into power more and more and more. And you know, and this is what I don't want. We fucked around once and found out, and we don't need to do it again. Okay, you only have to bloody my nose so many times before I finally stop putting my nose in out there for you to fucking hit, right? And this is what we're doing. And this is all I keep hearing from everybody's, well, what if Saudi doesn't play ball with us anymore? Fuck them. We don't need them. We don't need their oil. We don't need. And matter of fact, if and people keep talking about how it would hurt us if we collapse the petrodollar. Bullshit. If we collapse the petrodollar, Saudi Arabia would cease to exist.
So, Grid,
the only thing that we benefit from Saudi Arabia or Arabia, God, I can't talk.
Arabia.
Value of imports, according to USA Facts, is $15 billion in oil. The value of exports that we send to Saudi Arabia is 24.8 billion, and that was just updated Friday. Sorry, I had to get the date.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
So there is no real benefit, in my opinion, other than oil that we would get from them. So
right, and we barely get any oil from them as it is.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I keep trying to say is that but you understand that because we prop up the petrodollar, that's what's made Saudi Arabia rich. So if we destroy the petrodollar, now this one will TTS, I think.
At Raging Patriot 1776 donated $5 super chat. Canada is our biatch now and will always be. Now STFU and get over the USA beating you in your games you created.
Here's another fun fact really quick.
So losers.
If you don't mind me interjecting for a second.
There we go. All right, that was a great super chat. Thank you very much, Raging Patriot 1776. For you guys on the panel, that was read in a very polite, very feminine British lady's voice. Right? Very nice choice. Yeah. You guys can't hear
another fun fact for you.
Canada's our biatch, and now and forever will be.
Here's another fun fact for you, Grid.
Again, if we were to collapse the petrodollar, which we could do, we don't want to, because that's how we offload our debt. But if Americans had the stones our grandparents did that lived through the Depression, like mine, we would do it. We would do it tomorrow, because the entire rest of the fucking world would come crawling back crying to the United States again, because everything relies on the petrodollar right now. And BRICS is an idea where they're trying to, China and a couple other nations are trying to get out of that, but it's hurting their economy right now as well. So I am one of the opinion that we should just rip the Band-Aid off, suck it up for 5 years while the economy corrects. And yeah, sure, there's a lot of people's wealth will be destroyed short term, but long term we come out ahead, and we come out as a stronger country. We won't do it because we have way too many pussies in this country that are afraid of hard work and rebuilding, and that's a terrible thing. But
you don't want the U.S. economy to crash for too long.
Right.
Because there are irrevocable consequences to that. Now, here's another fun fact that I was just reading through USA Facts, which I trust them. Saudi Arabia, and I'm looking for the whole list, ranks 31 of the top, trading partners in the U.S. So I reclaim my claim where, and I don't think anybody is disagreeing, we give Saudi Arabia in trade $24.8 billion. So just, in my opinion, erase them. They're not really doing anything in a literal sense other than a little bit of oil, when we can pull the oil out of the ground here.
Yeah, that's how we offload our debt. That's the problem, right? So
do you think we could offload the debt of pulling the oil out of the ground in the United States, which according to some speculators is more than the world?
I'm going to take you back about 14 years.
The legislation would have to change, Spin City, because currently it doesn't allow for certain emissions and whatnot to take place in terms of refineries.
That's because of, I'm going to take you back about 14-ish years, and we were fracking. And we drove oil down to about $48 a barrel. And the Saudis, OPEC, were going fucking nuts. Because now instead of buying from OPEC, China would buy from us, right? The Canadians would buy from us. Everyone, England, buy from us, right? That also made Venezuela, their oil dropped, right, per barrel. And so that's a very, and China saw that happen. And this is actually when their Silk Road Initiative started. And what they're doing right now, they're trying to get as much oil production as they can stabilize for themselves. And they're right now trying to remove themselves off of the petrodollar. And yeah, it's hurting them. Their economy is hurting, but they're doing it in such a way that it'll grow higher and stronger, I believe. And that actually hurts us, because if they're not on the petrodollar and we can't offload our debt onto them, right? So we're playing world economics here. Unfortunately, we don't have economists playing world economics. We have politicians doing it who are only in it for themselves and trying to make the best deal for themselves and as a nation. It's a really hard thing to do anyway, right? It's really hard to get somebody to look past their own personal proclivities. And I think that's the one thing that nobody can talk shit about Trump on, is he doesn't really give a shit if he makes money on it or not. He wants America to make money. He wants America to come out of this stronger. And I think he really knows, I think he understands why we need to be off of the petrodollar, why we need to completely restructure how we deal with debt. And I think he really understands it. There's no easy way to do it. I mean, I'm just going to tell you that if it ever happens, which I don't think it will, I don't think that we can move things that far. But the danger is that China goes off the petrodollar. That's a huge market. And that hurts the Saudis. That hurts the Middle East. That's a ton of money out of their economy. And especially if China is still buying from them, but they're buying from them at a lower price. That really, because they can negotiate harder. They're not on a petrodollar.
Yeah, but that's a backroom deal.
It wouldn't be a backroom deal. It would just be a deal. There's no such thing as a backroom deal in business.
Well, okay.
You're not privy to my deals.
No, I understand. I mean,
unless you do some corruption, that we should talk about.
Corruption would be
okay. I wasn't going to
Stop
take
being excited.
corruption, but we all know that there are handshake deals made,
Sure.
regardless over Zoom or WebEx or whatever.
Yeah.
That
That's what I'm being critical of.
They're saying to OPEC one thing, but really, without real concrete evidence, it might be another thing, and that's the conspiracy theory.
All right, so let me give you my conspiracy theory. I like conspiracy theories, so I usually make fun of them, but I'm going to give you mine. The entire reason that we were fucking around with Cuba and Venezuela and all of South America is because they have massive stores of oil and natural resources, especially the waters off Cuba that they kind of control, full of oil, right? And I believe Trump's setting us up so that we can kick the Japanese, the Norwegians, and the British out of the Gulf of America, because right now it's illegal for American-owned companies to drill for oil in the Gulf.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, because of what Paige was talking about, because of the economic impact or the environmental impact.
Yeah.
So they're owned by British, the Japanese. They lease oil that we should be drilling. They lease that and drill oil and then sell it to us. Now that's fucked up. That's our backyard. We should not be doing that. I honestly think that this is my conspiracy theory is I think that's why Trump did what he did down in Venezuela. I think he's looking to that's why I think he renamed the Gulf of America, because he wants to push the public opinion in this idea of why are British companies and Japanese companies and all of these other companies, why are they drilling in the Gulf and we aren't? I mean, we are technically, because Americans work on those rigs, right? But they're not owned by us. We don't make the money.
Well, what do you think that the U.S. is doing with those 2 million barrels of oil that were seized from that Venezuelan tanker grid?
Oh, who knows?
Because there's lots of
200 barrels of oil at $50. What it was more than that. It's like 200,000, right?
Yeah, they have to be decided on though because of the manner that they were seized, like jurisdictionally, right? Because it occurred on like nautical
I'm
law.
not a legal scholar, so I have no idea.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it needs to be decided by a court. There's a lot of speculation though, because the deal with Canada is obviously done, that because it's crude oil that they will be refining it in Israel, which to me sounds ridiculous. But there's no concrete decision on an international basis as to how the court will decide the allocation of the barrels.
Yeah. So work academics. By the way, it doesn't trigger TTS unless you do $5. I'm sorry. Sometimes I'll read them, sometimes I won't. Apparently now it's a good time to buy the. I don't know what he wants me to buy.
I think it's that Donald J. Trump gold or whatever the hell.
Oh, the coin?
The coin.
You can't buy that anymore. They can't buy that. You can't buy that anymore. I don't think. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
What's going to happen?
You can buy Baron coin, and I have no relation to them selling it. Just but I'm just throwing it out there. You can buy Baron coin.
Yeah, I don't believe in electronic money, so.
Gentlemen, Grid, I have to go. I'm just on my break at work, so thank you so much for having me up. Hope to speak with y'all
Thanks
soon.
for lending a little bit of feminine atmosphere to this very masculine panel.
I mean, as much as I can. I mean, we all know I'm a bit of an alpha female, but it's all good. Have a great day. Don't stop the eye rolling, Gibbs. I think it's working. I think I see a slight reduction in your.
It feels amazing on the sinus. I gotta say, I love it. Big fan.
Feels amazing. All right, toodles. See you guys.
See you. Thanks, Paige.
I think at the end of the day, and something I want to hit on that she said about a court deciding on things. I think that I would have to disagree in a certain term that are courts equitable.
No.
How?
I'm about to go through that, right? I'm about to go through a state court right now. I'm going to tell you right now that they say they're equitable, but it very rarely is equitable. So here's the thing about the oil that was seized on the Venezuelan tanker. First, I'll have to look into this again. I haven't thought about it in about a month or so. So I'm rusty on the details, and I'm not going to look it up while I'm live. So I'll just go from memory here. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll we'll do something about it. But I think the reality is that there were problems with the way that ship was registered. I believe that there were problems with the way the ship was being operated. I'm like 90% sure that they were also smuggling drugs on that ship. And if that's the case, then that entire cargo is forfeit. And then I don't know what happens, whether the U.S., whether the Department of Treasury takes that or what. I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I do know that Venezuela ain't getting it back.
Right. Well, I think that we're going to end up running most of the. Now that Trump has pushed hard, I think that most of the companies that lost their facilities down there are being restored as owners, if they still exist. And if they don't, I don't know what they're doing. I need to find out, I guess. But yeah. I think Spin City took a walk. Yeah, no, I think. Hey, there he is. He's
nope,
back.
I'm here. I apologize. I was trying to fix something.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, Trump said he's the captain now. That's probably funny. That's probably true. I don't know what. I don't know what to do about that boat. But I mean, it's. That's a legal. That's a question for a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I don't even play one on TV.
We should put our flag on it, claim it as ours, and then send it over to Iran and let them sink it, because
wow,
they don't touch our boats.
Yeah. Don't touch the boats.
Well, I mean, obviously it's in Hawk, and we have control. Obviously, that oil,
Mhm.
and that boat is in our control. Last time I heard. So the United States government can do whatever the fuck they want because it was seized. I guarantee you they're not going to put it back in the ground.
Oh no, I mean, so again, I think at this point it's just who owns the oil, right? And I think that unless it depends on if that was all right. So I don't know who owned it to start with. So if it was because it's nationalized, right? It's the oil companies at that time were nationalized.
I agree with that.
That being the case, then the Venezuelan government would have ownership of it unless there was something illegal, like I don't know, like they found mass amounts of drugs, which I believe they did, which is why the ship was seized in the first place.
And if they didn't find them, they should plant them and then say they found them.
Right. Well, either way,
God knows we got enough.
if that's the case, there's no nationalized oil. There's no more nationalized oil conglomerate now, right? So there's no owner, right? Except us, because we seized it during the commission of a crime. And generically, when the United States government seizes something in the commission of a crime, that's the property of the United States government at that point. That would be legally, that's the way I would look at it. Now, that's a very simplistic way of looking at it because I'm not a lawyer and I don't play one on TV. And I didn't stay at Holiday Inn last night. I stayed at the Country Inn by Radisson. And so
I guess the real fight, I guess the real fight and what I take from what I read is they are still trying to determine who even owns it at the moment.
Right.
So are you going to, well, in my mind, I would never let a partisan judge determine who actually owns it. That's number one. Number two,
sure. I don't think a judge should get involved at all, to be honest with you. Who would the so
probably a maritime court, right?
Yeah,
I would be a maritime
court, but here's the thing. So first of all, seized in possession of a crime, who's going to claim it? Because if you claim it, you're a criminal.
Where was it seized? That's the first thing you need to determine.
And then where did y'all bring it to? It's in Corpus Christi right now. So like they might try it under Texas law or something. Like I feel like that's part of the reason why they probably brought it to where they brought it.
But wait a minute, Gibbs. The vessel was seized in the Atlantic, if I remember correctly. Was it not?
I thought it was seized off basically off the like down near Florida somewhere, like
that would be the Atlantic.
Like
that would be the Atlantic,
yeah. And that would be depending on what's that?
I thought it was in the Gulf.
No, it was in the Atlantic. I just brought it up. It was seized in the Atlantic. And it was in, at the time of seizure, international water, meaning free for all, basically.
Sure.
Right. So at the time of the seizure, I think that, and I agree with Gibbs, a maritime court would have to determine A, the ownership, B, in probably said certain terms, what the United States or whomever at the time of the determination of what to do with it. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's just think about it. These ships are huge, right? Look at the asset that in no certain terms am I going to say the United States.
I mean, it's $1 billion. I mean, let's just say that's $1 billion sitting.
Okay, that's $1 billion asset to whatever company or
so
whatever.
200,000 barrels of oil and the tanker. So a tanker. I mean, I don't think it's a particularly modern tanker, but that tanker is still probably $400 or $500 million.
Again, I renew my statement. Look at the asset to what's on the ship and the worth or the net worth of the ship. But I believe, and I agree with Gibbs, there would have to be a bipartisan maritime court, which we know that's not going to fucking happen, to actually make a determination.
Why would it be bipartisan? Why wouldn't
in.
Trump just like? Well, this is what I'm saying. He wouldn't do that. He's just gonna fucking make sure that it's in a jurisdiction. That's why I think he picked Corpus, and so they like put it there so that they can try it with into like under a favorable judge if they have to go to trial. Like it's gonna be like I'm sure they're playing the legal aspects of this.
No, I'm way off, guys. I'm way off. So first of all, I just did a very quick Google. So this is Google AI, which is the worst AI. And so take this with a grain of salt. But apparently, the tanker is worth 120 million, and between 120 to 135 million. Or pardon me, the cargo is worth between 120 million and 135 million. The vessel itself worth only 10 million. Man, tankers are not that expensive.
There's more steel in that tanker that's worth 10 times more than that, but that's bad. I respectfully, that's bad information, because what do you think it would cost? What do you think it costs to make a cruise ship that is twice the size of that?
Well, cruise ships are typically smaller than tankers, I think.
Or I'm sorry, I got that backwards. I apologize.
Yeah. 10 million. That seems cheap.
Well, I mean, there's not really much to them, but and I say the hull is basically excuse me,
that's a good question,
is basically empty and with some baffles in it. Theoretically, it's like a tanker truck, basically. But my point is the only nuts and bolts really are the power plant and the deck, if you really bring it down to it. So, but I think 10 million is an understatement.
Yeah, I mean, it seems light, but I mean, that's what they're saying. So the total seizure value often cited, this is by the BBC, by the way, between 60 million and over 100 million, depending on market fluctuations. They do not, in fact, mention the cocaine and fentanyl that was found on board.
Yeah, well, that's the real money right there.
There's the real money.
They don't
now
they don't say anything about that. I'm looking. Now what the U.S. is claiming is that it wasn't that they were. It wasn't because of drugs. It was claimed that they weren't flying. They were flying a false flag to bypass the U.S. sanctions, so they're deemed stateless, and that allows for international seizure. And if they determined, however they determined it, that those ships were sending oil to a denied state, such as Russia or I don't know who the other.
But we would have to determine, or the United States or whomever would need to determine that, okay, you put the wrong flag up, quote unquote, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to prove in the United States that it's beyond a shadow of the doubt, or beyond the shadow of a doubt, that it was done purposefully, which I have not seen any information in just a basic Google search, which I'm right there with you, Grid. It is not. It is undetermined, or the whole scheme at this point is undetermined. So are we going to sit on millions of gallons of oil that could be potentially ours? Or are we going to say, okay, we take our stake of the claim away and you fight it out?
So I don't think it can go to International Maritime Court because it was seized as part of under international law. because they're stateless. So unless somebody is willing to come up and admit to flying a false flag to serve, to take oil to denied countries, unless they're willing to admit that, which nobody's going to.
So it's just going to sit there in perpetuity.
No. I think there's I think at some point the U.S. is just going to be like, yep, it's ours, and we're going to sell it, and that's it. And so,
I mean, the bully mentality. I mean, let's go back of 30 minutes to the Iran war. Everything, and I'm going to say this, and I am based as fuck. I'm just going to let you know, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down a small little rabbit hole and probably keep digging until I dig myself out of it.
Sure.
It's a certain political affiliation keeps, and I say this very loosely, keeps proclaiming that another certain side is being a bully in Iran.
But that's not being a bully, though. If we're following international law, okay, right? So when we're following international law that says that, and this is international maritime law, if you fly a false flag, right, and you you run a blockade, which we don't actually do blockades anymore, but they're lines on a map.
We
or
probably
GPS.
Fucking should, but go ahead.
The lines on a GPS. If your ship goes, if we can prove that your ship went to Iran and offloaded oil there that went to Russia, or you went around to Mali and offloaded oil that eventually ended up in wherever the fuck that we don't want it.
Right.
If they can prove that, and they usually can before they ever do anything about this. If that happens, there's not going to be a trial, because maritime law says that if you're stateless, you have no what country are you going to?
No jurisdiction. There's no jurisdiction under stateless.
Yeah. What country are you going to appeal to represent you?
Well, they would. Well, at this point, and I'm going to be Captain Obvious, it's under U.S. control. So
no, that has nothing to do with it. It has to do with the flag that was flying when that ship was seized. So let's say that you are a Venezuelan tanker and you're owned by Venezuela and you're legally registered in Liberia, but because if you know that if you fly a Liberian flag and you go into this port, that you're going to be sanctioned because, or you've broken the law because you're going in to sell oil to people that are denied. They're a denied state. If you know that,
okay, I was coming down to literal. I apologize.
No, that's fine. So it all depends on who. Well, it kind of depends on who actually owns it, and where the country is actually registered, or where the ship is actually registered, and who. And what flag they were flying at the time. And I promise you that the U.S. military documented all that shit.
Undoubtedly. I don't deny that at all.
And so when we seize it, they can't appeal. That's the problem. If Venezuela comes out and says, hey, that's our boat, we say, okay, why were you flying a Guyanan flag?
But no, I absolutely get it.
Hey, excuse me, I need to step away and take a call. I'm gonna mute and just go off camera. I'll be right back.
That's fine. I'll drop you in the back. Just when you're
sure.
Back. Let me know when you're back.
Grid, I don't disagree with anything you're saying, but I mean, somebody knows the truth. At this point in the time that has surpassed, or the time that has passed, why doesn't that whoever take responsibility, take the big L and move the fuck on, instead of creating, and I'm going to use this word loosely, a war about pennies, legitimately.
Well, so here's the thing. So first of all, there is no one in Venezuela now to take responsibility. Because the government, there's no national oil service anymore. It's all been restored to private ownership.
Oh, right. Okay, I see where you're going.
Who's going to take responsibility? Who's going to say it's ours?
Okay, so you can't take the thing out and shoot a torpedo at it. What do you do?
So again, this is just like, so let's say that you own an airplane, and you and it's legally registered in the United States, but if you fly down to the Bahamas, or not, let's not say Bahamas. Let's say you fly down to Cuba.
Bahamas. Go ahead.
If you if you fly down to Cuba and you land in Cuban airspace, they're going to arrest you. So what you do is you fly down somewhere in Florida, you paint a Mexican tail number on it.
Sure.
You dummy up a registration. You fill the thing with oranges or whatever the fuck, and you fly down to Cuba and you offload your illegal oranges.
Sure.
In Cuba.
Sure. And
you fly, and now you pick up a bunch of whatever the fuck Cuba has that we want. And you're flying back. And you just look out your window and there's an Air Force jet that says, hey, if you don't land at this fucking airport, we're going to put a missile up your ass. As soon as you land, you're arrested and your plane is seized. And there's nobody you can appeal because you falsified documents and you specifically went somewhere that you're not supposed to go, and they can prove it. So there's not even now in this case, you could probably have a trial because you're a U.S. citizen. But let's say you were a Mexican guy, and they would deport your ass back to Mexico, and Mexico would probably put you in jail, right? So
if that or not worse, yes.
Yeah, right. Well,
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, right. But that's the point, right? So this, to me, this seems very open and shut. I don't know why the discussion revolves so long, because it's.
You guys are arguing about the wrong thing.
Yeah,
where's the cocaine?
Yeah, where's the cocaine? I don't know that they actually found any cocaine on that boat. Now that I think about it.
I definitely think they found it.
But I think that was part of. I mean, that's definitely part of the blockade was to. The entire point of the blockade was to do two things. First, to stop the flow of oil to countries that were denied, and second was to stop
that cocaine
flow of cocaine, fentanyl, and other drugs from Venezuela into Middle Europe, where they were selling them, and then that money was directly being used to fund terrorism in the Middle East.
No, what it was to get the market cut on the cocaine price, so they could sell it back to our own people. Like, I'm telling you.
I mean, the CIA is that's their angle, right? But I'm talking about the rest of the government.
I'm just saying cocaine is a hell of a drug, and you know what? They were definitely about that cocaine.
How you doing, Glenn?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Grid?
I'm tired, but
did you just get in today?
Yeah, dude. Like I was saying earlier, man, I got on a plane. So yesterday, let's back up. So I've shot a match over the last 3 days in Arizona. It was
just so you guys know, Grid was crying the entire time. He was calling me, sobbing. 106
degrees.
He was sobbing about how hot it was.
In the fucking desert. There's no shade doesn't exist.
Nope. Even in the shade, you're like, why am I still cooking in the shade? I'm supposed to be cooler.
Now I'm just shaded, and now I'm just in shade cooking.
I live in Central Florida. I feel your fucking pain about shooting.
Yeah, I'm in Tennessee, so 110. I mean, 110 doesn't bother me, but I got shade. I got a breeze once in a while.
Absolutely.
And so we were so I was shooting a match out in Arizona, and the last few days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So yesterday I finished up around like 1:00, and normally I would just go to the airport, drop off the rental car, get on a plane, fly home, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's in Arizona this time of year, it's spring
hot.
training for all of the baseball stuff.
Yep.
And not just the big guy you know, the major league guys. It's
No. AAA
all
ball.
of it down to like down to T-ball. All the
AAA's
way up
out.
to major.
AAA's out there because that's when they're recruiting.
Well, I mean, I got the same thing here in Florida. I mean, I am just 30 miles north of Tampa, and we all know who's here. So the influx of stupidity continues.
Oh yeah, you're on spring break.
Yes, we are.
And so
you got none but like
I'm actually
drunk college girls and dummies.
I'm actually heading to Florida for spring break on Thursday.
Yeah, because Grid can't get away from.
Stay away from Clearwater Beach, St. Pete Beach.
Well, we're going to Sarasota, and
that's even worse. That's even
worse. I didn't look. It's my wife. And
blame it on the wife. That's right. You know, I didn't want to go to Florida for spring break. I didn't want to see thong bikinis, but my wife took me. I got you. I am with you, Grid. I'm with you.
That's the fault. My wife wanted to see the bikinis and the drunk.
Exactly.
So
I'm with Grid 100%.
So anyway, yesterday I finished up around probably 1:30, 2 o'clock, and normally I would just jet off, go head to the airport, get on the plane, go home, no problem. But nope. The only nonstop flight I could get was at 11:55 last night.
Damn.
So I was in the airport, and I got to the airport at like 5 o'clock. And that was with me. I drove as slow as I could. I stopped.
You went to stop. You went to Dunkin' Donuts.
I put gas in the. I put gas.
Did you go get yourself a bear claw? The apple
just
bear claw?
Just put it this way: you fucking procrastinated. Okay, you procrastinated.
I did everything I could to waste time, and I still was in the airport by 5:30, and I was just sitting. And I couldn't check the bags until like 7:30 or something like that. So
why didn't you take a nap?
Well,
you're an old man. You have your old man naps. You got 2 a day.
I could have, but I had that big case of guns under my feet, so don't go to sleep when you're.
Yeah, I don't think a nap would be appropriate with that, but that's just me saying that.
Well, it looks like a guitar case too, but I mean, still, it looks like.
When you look at you, you don't see you as a guitar player. Like Grid does not look like a guitar player.
Well,
that's where you get a shirt. I got guns. I'm sleeping. Bad decision.
Bad decisions happen every day. Don't let this be one. I was getting on the tram, to head the SkyTrain or whatever for the head from the rental car place to the airport, and of course I have the big case, and so instead of having it hanging out everywhere, I like lift it up and stand it on its end so it takes up less room. And this lady is like, this little kid's like, "What's in the case?" And I'm like, "Guns, a lot of guns." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And his dad's like, "I told you it wasn't a big baseball bat."
That's comical.
It was very funny, and so we had a little talk about competitive shooting and all that. So, but yeah.
Don't say that to a certain set of people, man, because you have pandemonium.
I don't care. I literally said it out loud, full chest, guns, a lot of them, and everybody's like, yeah. So I'm always that guy instantly, and then the guy's like, "What do you do? We're out here, we hunting," and I'm like, "Nope, I'm a competitive shooter." And then he's like, "Oh, like long range or what?" And I'm like, "No, 3-gun. Rifle, pistol, shotgun, action shooting, running with guns." And I looked at the kid and told him not to do that. Don't run with guns.
That's always a bad idea. No, joking.
So and it was pretty. I have all these people looking at me. I don't care.
He's a terrorist. He's one of those white terrorists in America. Those American terrorists.
They didn't get much whiter than me. That's for sure. But
I think there's a new form of terrorist. It's called cracker.
Yeah, but it was a pretty good trip, but I didn't get in till 5 a.m. I drove home, and as I get home, it's time to take my oldest to meet his bus out to the school. And I asked my wife, I'm like, should I go ahead and take him? And she's like, no, I got it. And I'm like, okay. She's like, you should go to sleep. And I'm like, I'm going to. And I got to sleep for like 40 minutes before the 5-year-old came banging on the door.
Oh, he's the terrorist. I've heard him in action. Yeah. He's the terrorist of the family.
Yeah. All 5-year-olds are terrorists. What are you talking about?
I'm like, I'm on the phone. When I'm on the phone with Grid and he's yelling in the background something, I'm like, oh, you can't get a word in.
Like super quiet unless you're talking to somebody else. The minute you start talking to somebody else, he feels ignored, and now
he's
it's
like,
on,
God
baby.
Damn it, you're gonna listen to me.
Welcome to 5-year-olds. I have 4 of them running around here. Oh, it was
all at once.
Pandemonium.
You had 4 5-year-olds all at once.
Unfortunately,
I don't even want to know how you did that and why. But
I'm going to tell you how I dealt with it. It's called a garage with a backwards lock.
That's smart. That's real smart. Real smart.
The funny part is my wife has the key to it. So she came and opened the door and it was just pandemonium. Then I had 4 of them in the garage.
Why would you give the enemy the keys?
Hey, in case she locks herself in the garage,
Yeah, I hide in my garage too.
That was just being benevolent.
Happy wife, happy life.
Oh, buddy, boys, I just made a decision right now, and
how much money you made off cocaine, Gibbs? I just want to know how much money you made off the cocaine.
Not yet. I guess I don't know the right guy. If you know the guy, you let me know. All right. And,
I know a guy that knows a guy that probably knows the guy.
I don't want to know any of those guys. I don't want to know any of them. You keep those guys away from me.
I guess they're all with the CIA.
So hey,
they all wear suits.
Glenn has a terrific video coming out really soon. Probably
the next day or so. Did you watch it? Did you watch it? I sent it to you.
Oh, I only got the 2 with the Rolo.
No. You have the drive, the Google Drive link.
Give the guy a break. He just dealt with a 5-year-old terrorist after getting off a plane.
At least he didn't have to deal with the terrorist on the plane.
Yeah, that's true.
I give that to you. Although I know how to get into the baggage hold.
Where did you send it to? Oh, did you text it to me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's why. I'll look at it later. My phone's over.
But yeah, no. Just did a video. Really like coming at like this idea that once a woman is societal wise, we'll say she's written off or whatever, that they're unredeemable. And we have a really good example of a woman that disproves that. Really disproves that. And it kind of goes against like the whole red pill narrative, because the red pill it acts like if there's no such thing as redemption. And as a Christian, you have to believe in redemption, or what was the point of believing in God? So,
speaking of God, you seen what happened in LaGuardia this morning, or early this morning?
I heard about it.
About the airplane?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I talked about that in the very start. Yeah, it's actually pretty. Let's see. I thought we had a clip. Do we have I don't have a clip.
I actually have the clip if you want it, of the actual incident taking place.
I don't have the clip. I've got the picture though. This is you got a clip of the
yeah, I don't know how to get it to you, Grid.
Yeah, all you got to do is down where it says share down there, and just share it, and then I'll put it up.
Let me cue it up for you, Grid.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Kronos sending in a $2. It looks like. Let me see. Hasn't popped up in my other feed yet.
And before anybody asks, this is not fucking AI.
Sup, boomers? That's not for me.
Whoa, wait a minute. I'm not a boomer.
Me either.
Yeah, you are. Grid's pretty boomerish. So Gibbs, I see you got your Vader with your lightsaber there.
I do. I did. I got that from one of my coworkers one year. That was like the whole office went and bought that shit. It's pretty cool. Big fan. Yeah, I got like I last time I had my collection valued, I had like $88,000 one, but I bought a bunch of whole shit since then. I fucking love Star Wars.
Do you really want to go to war here?
No, I mean, you probably will beat me. I mean, I hope you do. That means you're a bigger nerd than me, and I always respect the bigger nerd.
Okay,
I fucking love. I love sci-fi shit.
Did you make sure you hit share sound, or is there no sound?
There's a little bit of sound, but here, let me see if I can get it to play here.
Yeah, just click.
There's no like bodies, right? Like I don't want like TOS.
Oh yeah, we got.
No, there's nothing like that.
There's no bodies. Boom! That fuel truck got me.
No, it was a fire truck.
Fire truck. Yeah. Fire truck got me.
This is actually from the camera from LaGuardia.
I mean, aren't you supposed to look both ways when you're driving?
You can't actually see out the front of an airplane that well.
But you can see in the fucking fire truck.
Yeah, so you can't actually see. Yeah, so apparently they're saying that the air traffic controller guy told the fire truck he could cross the runway.
Would you like to hear it? I have that too.
Yeah, you got the recording?
I got that too. Hold on one second. It'd take me just a minute.
Yeah, no worries. But they're saying they're saying that it was the air traffic controller's fault, which it probably is. And,
make the determination after you hear it, and you'll change.
You don't even hear it. You just got to see. You see plane driving fast. Oh, it's going to take off.
So all the ATC logs are public domain. Like you can get anytime if you knew when I talked to air traffic control, you could go find what I said to him.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure you cuss them out.
No, I don't. I'm very polite. What's up, Wally? Look at this assembly of jerks. You're the jerk, you jerky. What's up, Wally? I like Wicked Wally. He hadn't been around a lot lately. He's like he must be getting married and stuff.
You know, so I'll tell you something interesting, right? So I recently had some streamer drama, right? And I discovered that people be watching because you can do this on Twitch. I don't know if you can do this on YouTube, but people be watching who there is in their viewer list and shit. And so now that I know this, because I'm a toxic Latino, I have to fucking be checking on seeing who's the shit all the time. And so every time I see it, now I'm looking at what Wally has been lurking on a lot of streams. So Wally, I appreciate the lurking. You know,
Wally lurks. Hope you do well. He lurks. He lurks at work. He works everywhere.
Appreciate the lurks. The lurks help.
All right, play it up.
Make sure you can hear it. I don't know how to share the audio, but hold on. This is 5 minutes and 57 seconds, and you have to actually. You don't have to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, we'll listen to it all.
Ground Unit 2384 is declaring an emergency. The flight attendants in the back are feeling ill. Because of the odor, we will need to go into any available gate at this time.
Can you guys hear it?
Yeah,
we can hear it.
Okay.
Okay, roger that. Hey, this is Ed again. Do you guys have any gate for United? Because now he's declaring an emergency. They want to get out. Yeah.
Let me ask them. I'll call you right back.
Okay, roger that.
There's a pivotal moment in this that I'll point out.
Hey, it's Ed again, LaGuardia Tower. Now that United says he needs a gate, but so now he's declaring an emergency. But the ramp doesn't have a gate for him. Yeah, they're now.
We can get a stair truck if you need them to get off the plane.
Okay, yeah, do that just in case they want to come off. But so now he's on taxiway Alpha, just east of taxiway Kilo.
Okay, so this is a United aircraft. It's having a separate emergency on top right prior to this happening.
All right, thanks, man. All right, bye-bye.
Okay.
Yeah, 2384. The ramp doesn't have a gate for you yet, but I'm trying to get in touch with the Port Authority to see if they have something.
Copy.
And the fire trucks are over there. They're going to bring a stair truck just in case you guys do want to evacuate. Let me know if you do.
Copy. Yeah, we'd prefer to wait on a gate, but I mean, again, we only got so much time here because there's still a bit of an odor in the back of the airplane.
The odor. That must be some substantial odor.
Delta 520 going to lane 8.
Okay, so that I mean, somebody must have like lost their bowels or some shit, right? Anyway, right prior to this, Tower gave permission for the regional jet to land. Here's where it becomes fucked up.
Just hold short of Lima on runway 13 and just verify with the ramp that you'll be able to get in.
Okay, hold short of Lima on runway 13, and we'll talk to ramp, get back to you, Delta 520.
Thank you. I'm just verifying there's some shuffling of gates going on here due to an inbound that has an issue.
Roger.
Jet 646, LaGuardia.
No, it's you for DRLS 4 for Jet 646.
646, number 2, clear to lane 4.
Now remember that. Remember this now.
Mm-hmm.
And remember now they have fire trucks entering the field. Yep. Watch what happens.
Close land number 2 for Jet 646.
And 2384, do you have a gate available at this time? Otherwise, we will be probably requesting air stairs.
Give me 1 second.
2384.
Stand by, United. Who's the vehicle that needs to cross the runway? Emergency vehicles calling on ground, or are you calling on tower?
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower.
Truck 1 and Company.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
Now just remember, he just cleared the Canada regional jet to land. Now we have a fire truck that is going to proceed on the incoming or the arrival runway.
He's going to cross the runway, yeah.
Watch.
Truck 1 and Company, crossing 4 at Delta.
Frontier 4195 to stop there, please. Stop. Truck 1, stop.
And 2384 is cleared in lane 8 for 41.
Now the air traffic controller just said for the fire truck to stop. Mm-hmm. What I am going to presume, and I will give you this thought after the clip, what I think happened.
284, proceed to ramp.
Proceed in.
Sorry, truck 1. Stop, truck 1. Stop. Stop, truck 1. Stop.
4195, we're staying here.
Delta 2603, go around, runway heading 2000. Jet 646. Jet 646, I see you collide with a vehicle there, just hold position. I know you can't move. The vehicles are responding to you now.
Is the runway closed?
Delta 2603, go around, runway heading 2000.
Heading 2000, go around, Delta 2603.
Did she really ask if the runway's closed?
LaGuardia Tower.
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
Truck 2, runway 4 is closed, correct?
Yes, go on to runway 4 now. Proceed on runway 4, you have access.
Tower, car 90, runway 422 is closed at this time.
90, roger.
LaGuardia Tower, vehicle 98.
98. 98. Vehicle 98.
Vehicle 98, please show at this time. Runway 422 is closed. I repeat, runway 422 is closed at this time.
And there was an accident at LaGuardia. I don't know what happened exactly, but they just lost 422, so everyone's going to be holding over Proud or vectors in the air with me.
Tower, car 90, LaGuardia Airport is closed at this time.
So 2603, runway 3000, go to approach 2020 now.
3000, over.
2603, 2020, they're looking for you.
Tower, car 90, to reiterate, LaGuardia Airport is closed at this time. No aircraft in or out.
Okay. Frontier 4195, you copy that?
Negative. We're holding here. Could have solved all these problems.
All right, there's an incident on the field.
Yeah, we saw it now.
Just stand by. All right, there's an incident on the field. We're closed right now. Just stand by.
And I'll have updates for LaGuardia as soon as I get word of the runways are clear and back open. I don't have any estimates right now, so everyone in holding, just let me know if anyone's close to min-fuel, if you need to divert.
Ground Brickyard 3474 is the field shut down now.
Field is shut down, sir.
Roger.
So here's my thoughts. Here's my thought of what happened. The fire truck, after he made his initial call, which we heard that he wanted to cross runway 420 or 20, if I'm correct. Let me go back.
It was runway 4 at Delta.
Runway 4 at Delta. The fire truck was not at 4 at Delta.
Mm-hmm.
He was at 422 at Delta. What happens generally in an on-field emergency, and I know this to be a fact, the fire truck is now not listening to tower. They are back on what's called on guard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is where an emergency is generally handled on guard, meaning that on guard is scrambled or encrypted for the general public's not hearing it, right? So what I believe happened in this instance is the fire truck switched frequencies without staying on tower. Now, fire trucks have multiple radio systems in them on an airfield.
Yeah, I mean, so I am a pilot, so that's close. Guard is 121.5.
Or I'm sorry, 121.5.
And it's monitored by everyone and all the time. The tower is monitoring it. So if the truck wouldn't be using guard because it's not doing an emergency. It's not an emergency. The fire truck is responding to. I believe it was a stair truck.
No, it was another emergency with noxious fumes.
Yeah, that's what they needed the stair truck for, was to get the people out. But
Sure.
it doesn't matter. So anyway, so you could be right that when the truck called crossing 4 at Delta, right?
Yes.
So runway 4 at Delta, that's the exit.
Yes.
And if they weren't physically there, that's a real problem, and that's a procedural issue on the fire crew, and they're at fault because you have to be sitting there before you talk to Tao.
Absolutely. You have to be prior to the hold short line before you are
good bullshit with you, Glenn.
Hey man, we'll see you, buddy.
I gotta drop, gotta go record. All right, guys. Peace.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
I gotta say, this is a case. I just want to real quick. I'm gonna turn it right back to you. This is a case. I think. Can you take this little super shot off my face?
No, man. $2 from Raging Patriot. You can't park here, bud. There ain't no gas in it.
But what I was saying, this is a case, and I want to say this with 100%. I want y'all to know that I'm being serious. This is a case where cocaine could have solved this problem. They would have been geeked. Their noses would have been so stuffed they couldn't have smelled the smell. And then they would have been so paranoid from the geek that they wouldn't have had this problem. They would have triple checked everything. I'm just saying, this is a case where none of this would have happened if they'd all been raging out.
Disavow.
Yeah.
Okay. Pause. Yeah. So,
Grid, I got one of those too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I said on guard with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, that was like it's 121.5. And you squawk 7,700 in an emergency. So
absolutely,
what it looked like to me is, or what it sounds like to me is that maybe the truck wasn't there, but the timing, it's like, and that truck takes a minute to move, right?
Absolutely, it's an Oscar.
So what I think is more likely is the truck was sitting there at the intersection at the hold short, and he says, crossing 4 at Delta. Okay. He starts to roll across, and the tower has is like, wait, no, I just told an airplane he can land there. Right.
But he doesn't correct himself on the air.
He doesn't. And so he comes down, so that the airplane's landing, he doesn't know anything about this. Right.
Right. Well, the airplane
and this is because the trucks are on ground frequency, which I don't know what the frequency at LaGuardia is for ground, but they'll be on a ground frequency.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So there's ground and tower at controlled airfields, right?
Yep.
So like when I take off from Smyrna, I talk to ground and I let them know where I'm going.
Sure.
The tower can hear it, but they won't talk to me until I go onto the tower frequency, and then they'll talk to me. If I just fire up and say, tower, I'm 58 DW, which is or 58 double Delta Whiskey, which is one of my actual airplane call signals. If I say, hey, I'm moving from parking to, taxi here, the tower's not going to talk to me about that.
True.
They're going to be like, sir, you need to contact ground.
Yes, they're going to tell you that. Yes.
They're going to be like,
now on an uncontrolled airfield, which I have flown out of many years ago, was Kilo Victor Delta Fox.
Mm-hmm.
You can Google that and see where that is.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll give you a very good approximation where I live.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, in an uncontrolled space, you are still required to make an announcement of any on-field movement.
On the Unicom.
Yeah, on a Unicom frequency.
But so what it sounds like is that it sounds to me like the guy knows he's landing a plane, and for some reason, tower is talking to the emergency vehicle is talking to tower instead of ground.
Yeah,
that could be because ground is busy, or they have to cross the runway.
Yep.
Generically, I don't know if.
Now,
I've ever gotten
being a pilot,
I've never gotten I don't know that I've ever gotten a cross runway from ground.
Mm-mm.
Ground usually says
no, that would be tower responsibility.
Contact tower when you are.
Yeah, that's a tower. Tower, as you and I both know, is in control of the field.
Yeah.
You have ground that is permitting or permissing your movement on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have ramp that can really fuck things up too, because that at a controlled airport is another stymie in the woodpile. Now, you and I both know that an airplane in a flare there's no visibility. There's no visibility. So could I say in good conscience that the pilot could see the fire truck? No. Because it's not completely impossible, because once you're in a flare, you get into ground effect, you round out technically.
So it wouldn't matter anyway, because the big jets are landed by the auto land anyway.
ILS, yeah.
And so, well, just I mean,
auto land.
They just auto land, right? So
sure.
So the pilots the only thing the pilots are doing is they're watching to make sure that they don't have an issue with the airplane where they have to go around. They have one hand on the throttles and one guy's on the radios, and that's it. That's
absolutely.
They're not actually steering. Generically, they're not even actually flying the plane. All they're doing is getting ready to hit the
They're going to go into reverse, and then the spoilers, basically.
Real quick, just to catch up somebody in the chat, we're talking about the recent crash that just happened. What was it, yesterday or this morning? Night. Yeah, last night in Canada or whatever.
No, it was in LaGuardia.
LaGuardia. There you go. They got all the people. That's what they're talking about. So it's just to catch up.
Yeah. So when you have they'll have their hand on the missed approach button.
Sure.
And the go around button.
Sure.
So, and then they have their hand on the throttles in case they have to, because if they're going to hit go around, they're going to hit either the missed approach or they're going to hit the go around button and just slam the throttles.
Slam the throttles, yeah.
And then the airplane does the rest.
Sure.
Most of them do.
It's not a Cirrus.
I'm not an airline pilot. I don't know.
It's not a Cirrus, though.
Yeah, it's not. It's not one of my little airplanes. But I understand how it's supposed to work. And
for dialogue, we know that it doesn't happen like that.
Right. So
now that I think about it, Alice,
the guy made a good. It looks like the guy made a good landing, and here's the problem. I have two problems. Well, all right. So let's just finish dissecting this. I think the truck was at the hold short line. The guy doesn't remember that he's got an airplane landing and doesn't know where that airplane is because he looked away from his radar for a minute. He's not looking out the window or whatever. He just doesn't know where physically that airplane is. That airplane is a lot closer to the runway than he thinks it is.
Absolutely.
Let me just jump in here real quick if you don't mind. One second. Alice here, we have a resource we can use right now. We had legal questions earlier about the boat from Venezuela. I believe that you might be a little bit of a legal expert. If you want to answer what your thoughts on and how they can take the oil legally, feel free to chime in. And then I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut them off. But I figured since we have a lawyer here, we can ask them that question.
Should bring them up on panel.
I'm sure she's working, but
yeah, we can do it another time.
Yeah, but I bet if you thought to type out the answer, I would be interested in seeing what your thoughts were on how we could take the boat. But anyway, sorry guys, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. So I think when the guy gave the truck the clearance, the plane was already probably, if he hadn't touched down, he was over the numbers. The truck
in the video that I saw, yeah, you would think he was over. He would be over the numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. He's touched down or he's seconds away from touching down.
Yep.
The truck starts across. The tower's yelling at him to stop before the guy can respond, even key the mic.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think he changed frequencies or anything. I just think I think the guy driving the truck.
I don't believe the pilots in my own dissection, the pilots even had time to react if they could have reacted.
None of them. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't think the guy driving the truck. See, so what you were originally talking about was the truck was like, 100 or 200 yards from the hold short line when they called, and they were just late getting there, and the tower, the ATC guy thought that they were at hold short, and he thought that they were going to be clear by the time the airplane landed. I think that because of the task saturation, you have this plane that's got a problem that they've now declared an emergency. Now, here's what should have happened. You have a plane that's declared an emergency. So what you do is you say, all aircraft go around, we have an emergency. I will resequence you. That's what should have happened.
I agree.
But that didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
And you got a task-saturated ATC guy who is talking about ramp trucks, who's talking to this, he's got this airliner that has a bunch of people that want to get out of there, right? They want to get out of that airplane. Now, why it smells bad, I don't know. Maybe there was a chemical reaction. Maybe their chemical toilet jacked up. Maybe there was something burning in the back. Maybe somebody just, really, really had too many tacos. I don't know. But
I would bet on the taco theory, but go ahead.
Whatever it was, they were physically getting sick and they wanted off of the airplane now. And so,
I mean, I don't believe that the aircraft, I don't believe that it was of the fault of the aircraft. And I truthfully don't believe it. If we want to go down to the nuts and bolts of it, I don't believe that the air traffic controller had any responsibility, because what I heard, he was doing his job. I believe that the fire truck missed or did not stop at the hold short line, and or I believe he called out the wrong runway. That's what I believe.
No,
you want to listen to it again?
Timeline works out for that. I think it is the controller's fault. I think it's the controller's fault on several accounts. First, rule number one is if somebody declares an emergency, everybody else waits.
Absolutely. I don't disagree with that at all.
You have to clear everything out. Like nobody can land, nobody can do anything. You've got one airplane to worry about, right? That's the plane with the emergency. So that's the first mistake. The minute that airplane declared an emergency, everybody else go around. I'll resequence you. If you're min fuel, we'll divert you, whatever. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is he knew that he had given an airplane permission to land. Then he authorized the vehicle to cross runway after that. It wasn't reverse. The fire truck didn't ask. I didn't say, hey, I'm crossing. And then the guy gave permission to land. Well, that would have been even worse. But you would expect that sequence would work out. If I give you permission to cross runway, I expect that you'll be gone by the time the airplane touches down and lands. But so I think it's all ATC all day, all long, the whole time.
And at the end of the day, if it is determined that the ATC caused this, you and I, and maybe Gibbs, without saying the ramifications, is preponderance. I mean, or not preponderance. It is. I mean, that would be jumping off the Brooklyn Bridge thing, right?
So but I mean, I don't know. There've been a lot of instances lately of ATC guys just fucking shit up.
Well, let's go down a rabbit hole. Let's just fucking do it. Sorry, Grid.
No, man. Look. I fly out of small airports for a reason, because I don't want to deal with ATC. I want to deal with them as little as possible, and I really don't want to, because, and honestly, we just had a midair, right? That I believe was ATC.
I believe that as well.
We just had an ATC guy about 8 months ago. An ATC guy got called down for nearly causing an accident on the ground.
Was that one with Singapore or some shit?
I believe it was a Singapore plane, but it was here in the U.S. It was.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Were they clipped wings or some shit?
Yeah, well, the guy was taxiing, and the ATC guy gave clearance for another guy to pull onto the runway in front of it.
Yes, right? Okay. I just wanted to make
multiple near misses where ATC is not tracking what's on the ground, and you've had Southwest almost landed on a FedEx, or was it FedEx? A FedEx plane almost landed on top of a Southwest plane and had to go around. ATC whether we look, and I'm not saying it's all their fault, because ATC is a hard job, and they probably need more people doing it. And maybe they don't have the staffing that they ought to have. I don't know.
There was just a report. Now, wait a minute. There was just a report, I think it's last Monday, and I'm sitting here looking for it, where they are understaffed, and they are very understaffed right now because they're not getting fucking paid. So
it's true. Yeah. I thought the ATC is on a different deal, and they are getting
Nope.
paid. And
nope, they are under. I believe, and maybe you can get it faster than I can. I believe ATC follows under the DHS or some subsidiary.
No,
No?
it's FAA. Yeah, the FAA. It's a separate deal.
Well, I mean, they get their something to do with they get their funding through DHS or the FAA. I don't remember. I know I read something about it. I just don't remember where. But they are part of what the government.
They are federal employees, FAA, who continue working during government shutdowns. They may experience temporary pay delays, as seen in early 2026, when we were forced to work without pay while awaiting back pay.
Right, and there was a report where ATC
But right
officials.
now they're not. Right now they're not shut down. That's a
Hey, real quick, thank you so much for the sub, by the way. Appreciate it. We're 8 more away from the goal. And we have some exciting things that are going to happen.
FAA says that.
Or is it TSA that's not getting paid?
TSA is not getting funded. So
okay, maybe I
that's
transposed
Department of Homeland
it.
Security. Homeland Security is not getting funded. FAA is getting funded, and they are getting paid. So, and I could get into why the actual reason why we have a problem with air traffic controllers is the FAA. It's not anything else. It's just the FAA sucks. And
to become a private pilot, when it was 40 hours when I took my test way years ago before I ended up in a wheelchair. Now I believe it's 180 hours if you go to a proper school, right? The air traffic controller test or training is triple that. And the biggest complaint that I did read, I remember perfectly. We cannot graduate an air traffic controller quick enough to put them into that position due to training, et cetera, good government rhetoric bullshit, right? So the amount of air traffic controllers that are out there versus the arrivals and departures of aircraft is significantly larger.
I mean, but right now we're having less. I mean, we have less commercial flights than we have in years right now.
I
would.
you
can't get airplanes.
I wanted to get your opinion on this now that you brought this up. Actually, this is really interesting. Well, that's true, but I've seen that they're talking about going back to flights where they're having like more focused on like giving you more space now. Yeah. Like they're even for like Southwest some reason they're like trying to get more minutes. Yeah, because numbers are down, and I'm almost like I'm okay with this. Like kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, now this is AOPA and some other organizations saying this. This doesn't have any real I mean, I don't know how much you want to believe it, but I know that the airports used to run 24/7, and now
none of them don't.
They do not run 24/7.
Well, Walmart, bro. Can you? This is something, bro. Now you said something else. This is the ADC, bro. Can you? I just know the golden age of America's past, and we're never going to get back. And I'll tell you what it was. It was 24-hour Walmarts and 24-hour airports.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we had it so good. We just didn't know at the time.
But we have.
I used to love to go to fucking Walmart in the middle of the night and see
people watch
society.
Not even the worst.
It's a comedy thing for me.
Yeah. Sometimes you'd see some cool shit. Like we would go and the Mennonites would come coming in like in the middle of the night because they were just so far, and so they'd come and then I'm like, bro, and you just don't know what you're missing until it's gone. You know what I'm saying?
So I mean,
we used to live in a society.
When we talk about airlines, we have, I think, fewer flights per day than we've had in a long time. But yet we have the highest staffing level that we've had in a long time. But now we have the lowest safety rating we've had in a long time. So that tells me that it's not a staffing issue; it's an education and training issue, or bad policy, bad procedures. Now the FAA is involved, so I'm going to go with bad procedures and bad policy. because the FAA does everything possible to fuck everything up, and without question. Like they just do. It's just what they do. If it's something that can be solved for $5, they're going to make you spend $500, guaranteed, 100%.
If not 5,000.
Yeah, or 5,000. And
it's just on an airplane, you're looking at $1,000 for. I mean, just out of the fucking door. Just look at what aviation oil costs.
Well, and it, you know, it doesn't. The problem I have is that none of this is making any of this safer. I wouldn't have a problem with any of this if, like, I honestly would not have a problem paying $500 for the battery for a certified airplane. That is the exact same fucking battery that I put in my experimental airplane for $100. It's the exact same battery. It's just one has a little bit more paperwork with it, and that's it.
I would go as far as to say the battery that I put in my certified airplane, I would put in my car. Theoretically.
Yeah.
I mean, right. Let's go back to the old time aviators, man. They were putting wheelchair batteries in just to fucking start the thing, right?
I mean, well, again, the more it's become this thing where, you know, so if I own like just a 172, every single year I'm going to spend at least $3,000 just on the annual inspection.
On the annual, yep. I knew you were where exactly you were going with that.
I have a 1946 Taylorcraft BC-12D that doesn't have an electrical system.
Are you bringing it to Florida? And can you get a guy that's in a wheelchair in there?
When it's recovered, it's currently getting recovered and painted and a bunch of work done. So maybe in a year or so, I'll fly it to Florida. But yes, it will definitely.
I'll be alive. I hope
it. But you know, so it's a hand. You know, it's hand prop. No, you know, no electronics whatsoever in it. So I don't have to worry about the battery issue. That's the cheapest airplane you can own, and I do a owner assisted annual on it.
Yep.
And it still costs money. And this has to be done every year. And you know, for something, it's just an ever increasing, ever incremental battle against bureaucracy. I've heard now that even small airports, they're ramp checking at small airports because they want to find you in violation so that they can fine you for something.
I've heard that through AOPA. I think that was just one email that I got. It was in just one fucking email. Hey, dude, make sure your shit's right.
Yeah. But I mean, and now, so once you get into commercial, it's even worse, right? Like these airlines,
their annuals are millions, bro.
They're
millions.
You know, these airlines are.
Hold on. Are you smoking a cigarette inside?
Yes, I am, Gibbs.
That's a good shot move. I'm impressed.
Do you think I really want to get in my chair, reel down my ramp every time I want to smoke a cigarette? No.
Hey, listen, no judgment. I just hadn't seen anybody do that in like 10 years. But I was like, hey, all right, bring it back. I guess, you know, I smoke a cigar. I'm smoking through. Yeah, well,
I do have a window that is open next to me, though. I will say that.
I got one of those like fucking heavy duty air purifiers. Oh man! And then I fucking had some like little Latinos go buy a bunch of candles and, you know, pick out the best smelling ones. That's really helped as well. They'd be over here like, we got to find some manly scents like complement the smoke.
They had to at least be the 9s and the 10s, bro. Everyone else has got to get the fuck out.
Hey.
Whatever. The ATC problem, I think, is really interesting because those guys usually aren't even pilots. And it costs a lot of money to become an ATC guy. There's a college program here. It's 4 years of college, and then I think a year or 2 years of training. So I think by the time you're done, you know, you're 150, 200,000 deep. But the job pays a shit ton of money.
Oh, but that's, I go back and I renew my argument. You cannot graduate an ATC guy in 180 hours, right? And factually, do I want an ATC guy in a tower controlling my life at 180 hours, you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, I think it's, but they, you know, the FAA is in a unique spot because so many people are aging out, and they've driven aviation to the point where it's so, it's so hard to get people, young people interested in it and excited about it anymore. Everybody when I was a kid, man, everybody wanted to fly. Everybody wanted to have an airplane. You know, that the FAA, you know, it's just.
Yeah, but even the selling points of being like a pilot now, right? So like, I don't know, y'all remember that show Brook and Jubal? There's sometimes they have the first date update and they do it on the fucking radio, like it's, you know, okay, well, I'm sure you get the concept. They call them like people that day. Anyway, one time they had this guy on, and they like call him and he's like, why don't you want to go to a second date with this chick? And he's like, oh, because I just got accepted into, like, I don't know, I'm just gonna make up a name because I don't remember what it was, but it was like the Golden Club. And they're like, well, what's the Golden Club? He's like, well, it's like the Elite Pilots Club. And basically it's the hottest fucking pilots and the hottest fucking flight attendants. And they just basically have big orgies all the time. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he literally told us, like, the girl that was asking to date him, he's like, hey, maybe in a couple of years, or if I hadn't got into this, you're perfect. But I'm definitely not going to not get into this and not do it. And so like now with the reverse of like this trend where like young people are like more, I saw a thing to say that young people today are more conservative than their boomer parents.
Oh yeah.
Right? Our grandparents. Right. And like with this kind of thing, even the things that sell, like, oh, get the Golden Club, you know, like that's not appealing to these people anymore. So they don't even have like this, like, oh, see exotic locations, get hot girls kind of like mentality. They're like, oh no, you know, like it's the opposite. Like even like it's just kind of a crazy how like culture shift can affect like an industry like flight, like so
it's
much.
Interesting because
they're doing the press conference right now. If you're interested, Grid, on the LaGuardia thing,
I'll have to watch it later.
Yeah, it's Reuters. Reuters is doing it. Yeah.
So it's interesting because I think that I know more young people that want to be pilots or want to get into aviation than I do people kind of in that middle range, right? Like not your age specifically, Gibbs, but maybe just a few years younger than you.
Sure.
You know, those guys didn't. You're right. Those guys don't have any interest whatsoever. They don't care for the most part. They don't care about. They don't even care about cars. They don't care about whatever. You know, like I mean, I actually read a thing not long ago that you know, young people between the ages of like 20 and 26 didn't care if they even had a driver's license, and a lot of them didn't have a driver's license, and so it's just a strange thing to me. But now, you know, like my son absolutely wants to have a, you know, he's all about getting a driver's license. He's all about wanting to get a pilot's license. He wants to ride motorcycles. So I think you're right. I think it does go in cycles, right? Like it's, you know, everybody thinks it's, these guys all think it's cool. And, but we've got to make it to where it's at least somewhat affordable. So,
yeah.
At least somewhat. You know, and my kid's like, you know, I don't know. He's really excited about getting a pilot's license, but that's partially because we have an airplane. It's like, why not?
Are you a CFI?
No, I am not. I mean, I could be, but I'm not.
I'll tell you what. I mean, listen, if you have nerves of steel and somebody has really big fucking balls, if you don't,
I'd show them to you, but they're in a suitcase in the house. They're fucking huge.
I'm just saying, I mean, letting somebody have the controls of your life takes fucking balls to begin with, right? Yeah, you might be faster than them, or you feel you can correct an incident. But a lot can go wrong.
I had an experience with a CFI not long ago where I went up and so it was a deal where you know, it was a young kid. We're just gonna, and I'm like, look, and I was like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go fly down here. We're gonna do whatever. You can do whatever you want to do as far as you know, see what you know, if you need to pull throttle out, whatever, simulated engine out, whatever, it's cool. And this guy had like maybe 300 total, maybe. And so we take off, right? I take the plane off, and I know where we're going, so we're fly down to, and I told him we're going to go down to this airfield. You're just going to do some touch and goes. I'm going to come back. And if you need to see anything, fine.
Right.
For those of you guys that don't know, every year you're supposed to do a review,
a flight review.
No, pardon me. It might be 2 years. Every 2 years, it's biannual flight review. You're supposed to go up with an instructor for at least an hour and just show them that you can still fly the damn airplane.
It's pretty much a signature on a fucking logbook. That's all it is.
It really
right?
is. Yeah, you get to go fly for fun for it. So
and a bunch of numbers after it.
And I hadn't flown in a couple of months, so I was a little rusty. Takeoff was okay, but you know, whatever. The engine out was fine. You know, all the steep turns, fine. All this stuff was fine. Well, then we're going into an uncontrolled tower or an uncontrolled airfield. So there's no tower. It's all Unicom. So, and here's the thing. So we were in a Cherokee, which, by the way, it crashed a few weeks ago.
Oh, Lord.
And the guy lived, but this is just how this flight school apparently operates. So,
not on.
So we're in a Cherokee. I'm familiar with the Cherokee. I like the Cherokee. It's a good airplane. And we are going down to, and I figured that this guy, well, first of all, I thought this guy was a little bit more seasoned than he was, which is fine. So first thing is we're coming into this airfield, and I said, hey, normally the calm wind runway here is 3.6. You know, it's an untowered field, so you know you have to note these, and these things are noted. If you look up the airport, it'll tell you. So normally the way I had flown down, what I would have done is go up to 2,500 feet, which is where I was already. Do a teardrop approach in, and then do the cross the field at midfield, teardrop into the pattern, and then land. And that would have been it. No problem.
Not to be confused with the impossible turn, but
right,
you know.
But so I set up to do that, and he's like, "Well, how are you going to land?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm going to do it." And I told him, like, we're at 2,500 feet. I'm going to call in a minute, tell the traffic that I'm at 2,500 feet, overflowing the field, and I will do a 360 into the pattern on enter the downwind for 3.6. He's like,
"What's pattern altitude there? 2,500?"
No, it's we're. I mean, the actual pattern altitude. I mean, it's 600 feet, which with our elevation and everything, it's right. At 1,000.
Sorry, I don't know the airport.
That's fine. So, you know, I come in. No, he's like, well, let's do a straight in on 1.8. I'm like, seems like a bad idea. And I should also mention that since he had not played with this airplane, he didn't know how to work the radios. And so he was actually trying to talk to the field or to Unicom on the or CTAF, I guess. He was trying to talk to everyone on the NavCom. NavCom doesn't actually work that way. Anyway, doesn't matter. So I finally paid attention, and I put the radios where they needed to be, and we could hear everybody. But I landed, and as we were taxiing back, we got a call from a guy on a 3-mile final for 3.6, and the instructor says, "Hey, we just landed 1.8. It seems like that's the runway to use or whatever." And he's like, and the guy obviously is from that field. He's like, "We've been doing 3.6 all day. It's calm wind runway, and this is and he kind of admonished him without being a dick. So I had to taxi the plane back and take off 3.6. We did a few landings, and So and again, I was a little bit rusty, but the thing is that you come over these trees and then there's a drop because of you lose the thermal over the trees, and as you sink, you if you're not careful, you gain airspeed.
Sure.
Airspeed that you don't want, and so you have to be a little bit careful. And I just didn't have the timing right. No big deal. And but the run, they were pretty firm. Not quite carrier landings, but flat and firm, like Gibbs's first girlfriend. And so
flat and firm does not always mean you're going to get an ambulance ride after it. Okay.
Right.
I don't even know what the fuck that means, but whoa.
So and after like the third takeoff, he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna take the next one. Just want to see what's going on. I'm just trying to understand what's going on with the plane." All right, cool. So, I do the climb out, and I make my crosswind call, and I expect him to take controls. He doesn't. Make the downwind call. You expect him to take controls. He doesn't. Get a beam of the numbers. I start configuring for landing for me because he's not said anything, and I just assumed that he just he was sitting there talking about random stuff and we're just chatting, and I'm like, well, if he's not, I'm not going to tell him to take the controls, right? That's not my job. And so I just configure to land and get set up to land, and as I turn. As I make my base turn, everything, he still hasn't said anything. And now I've got all the flaps I'm going to use in, everything's ready to go. And I make the turn to final, and we are on a super short final, like a half a mile, like maybe under a mile final. And he like suddenly wakes up and goes, "Oh, I said I was going to take this one. My controls." I'm like, okay, that's bold. It's bold strategy. And he was too fast. He floated too far. A Cherokee will float the whole length of the runway if it's too fast. And so came down, and he flared too high, and it hit it just smacked the runway and bounced. I've never dropped that airplane as bad as he did. And he had to add power and stabilize the airplane and then touch down again and land.
If somebody were to do it to me, I mean, it's configured for me, right?
Right.
Let's laugh about this a second, okay?
Yeah.
If it were me, back whenever I was able to, if you said that your controls like beam the numbers, I would tell you to go fuck yourself. I'm sorry. That's just me.
Yeah.
And then I would once I got the aircraft stopped and back safe, I would admonish the fuck out of him.
Well, shockingly, it gets worse. So as he bounces, he hammers runway, one of the hardest landings I've ever had in that aircraft.
Nova, that's why I bought this shirt, by the way. Sorry, go ahead.
It is. It's awesome. And
or the other one, there's the remember those Pop-Tarts?
Yes.
It's the same like color scheme as the Pop-Tarts, except it's like
there's a little bit more
palm trees.
I just want to go back.
Well, they had this color scheme too. They had the pink and the blue and the purple. Remember that? And it was like on the blue and they were like, I don't know, they were like,
but I saw them in the store. So.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want a huge fan.
I just want to admonish Gibbs about his first girlfriend, Flat.
First of all, that's not true. That's not true. First of all, I listen. You could ask my mama and my dad, and they'll tell you right now. I'm a lot of things, but for whatever reason, I've always been good with women, and I like them curvy. I like them in shape. They all need to look like a fucking porn star supermodel. That's kind of my thing. I'm an ugly dude, but I'm a witty dude. And when you're witty, you can talk the pants off anybody. They be laughing, ha, suddenly they're naked.
Probably true.
So,
At any rate,
and I also used to be super athletic. That helped too.
After this guy bounced the airplane like a basketball, and had to add power.
Something was bouncing like a basketball. Let me tell you that.
There you go. He landed the plane, then took off again, as we're climbing out, he makes the crosswind turn and he says, "Okay, your controls," and I'm like, "My controls." And you know, and now we're returning back to the because my hour's up. We're going to return back to the airfield here, and he looks over at me. He says, "You know, I think that's my first landing in this air." And he had gotten his PPL in that airplane, and he's like, "I said, I think it's my first landing in this airplane since I got my PPL." And I'm like, "That's bad," because you know most schools use 172s, and so it was. I was like, "Yeah, I shouldn't have told me that." Because this guy's gonna kill me. That's my thought was this guy's gonna kill me. Like I can't fly with you ever again. So,
you know what?
His name, but I saw him.
Not saying in his defense, there is something different about being able to see the ground, and there's something about having to look over a wing to see the ground. Not saying that he's a complete and total fucking moron. And I mean, if you flew a Cherokee, quote, to get your PPL, it's like riding a motherfucking bike.
Well, sure.
Technically.
I feel like you have just as good a visibility because you're looking out in front of the wing. I like that a little better. And I fly 172s too, and they're okay. They're not my favorite. The 172s just float so float so differently, and you have to just everything's different. You have to fly them faster. With a 172, you know, basically you want to be over the numbers at like 60, 65. With a Cherokee, you could be 55 to 60. It doesn't sound like a lot, but
but it is.
That little bit of extra airspeed, you're going to float. Further you float, the worse it is.
I mean, me preferably, I want to see what's going to kill me rather than the wing. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the Cherokee, but it's all good. Anyway, so I had I did the Cherokee. I did well. I've flown a bunch of different airplanes now, but the Cherokee and the 140, 150, 172, and the Cherokee are all like old hat. I remember when I went to an airfield and I hadn't flown a 150 in like forever. And
especially being a bigger guy, you do not want to fly that. But anyway,
I got in with in a 172 with a guy, and it was just like, this is just the same. Like there's no difference. It was fine. And
you know, there is a light sport out there. It's called an Aeropract KT. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Yeah, I saw it at Sun and Fun a couple of years ago.
Sir?
I saw it at Sun and Fun a couple of years ago.
Dennis Long is the guy's name that is the proprietor, right? Big 6 foot, like 5, just all around great guy, right? And I was in a wheelchair, and he says, "You do know that I have a handicap model?" And I'm like, okay. I was still, I mean, I won't go into semantics of it, but my license was still sort of good. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Let me just pause you real quick, Spin. Here, let's check this out. You just started off one of the greatest porn stories ever. We had Sun and Fun, this guy named David Long or Tony Long, and then he's 6'5". I'm like, this guy's coming in talking about bringing big slanging dick. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Just couldn't resist.
It's all right, Gibbs. We understand your tyrannical rants sometimes. I do, at least.
Okay.
Anyway,
have a light in the mood.
So he took me up. He had one. And the ailerons and the rudder are pretty much tied together.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a handbrake.
What's it called? It's a
pipistrel or not pipistrel?
No, the Luscombe. No, not the Luscombe. It's similar to a Luscombe. It's an old airplane, and it only has the
aileron.
The aileron control. Yeah, it only has aileron control on the wheel, and there's no real rudder control.
Right.
It's a everyone tells me I should get one, and they're really cool little airplanes, but they're old now, obviously.
Sure.
Like 50s or 60 airplanes.
And I'll tell you, it's a center yoke. You don't have side by side, and I flew it, and he actually let me fly it and land it, and I can't necessarily say that it would be my first choice at $150,000 worth of a toy.
Sure.
I mean, maybe in my midlife crisis, but it was weird because I'm so used to at that point I had some function. So I could not be effective on rudder pedals as much as you should be, but I always had that little backup of, hey, if I push the yoke to the left, my rudder's going to react, right?
An
So
air coupe.
yeah,
That's what it's called.
Air coupe. Now,
I pronounce it air coupe, but it's ERCOUP.
And I believe it's coup, not coupe.
Probably.
But it is always mispronounced.
To M54 over here a while back, and I was like,
Right.
That's really cool.
But I'll tell you, it has a handbrake, and let me tell you, for as little as the shoes and the tires are on that fucking thing, it will if you're not used to that handbrake, it'll send you through the fucking windscreen, bro. I'm not even joking.
My Dragonfly originally was supposed to have a handbrake instead of foot brakes.
Real quick from my side of the chat. Hey, if you are trying to join this Pokemon game, it's in the widget and just type in Gibbs as the password and you'll get an ass whooping. You can see the whooping that you're going to get. It's going to be just like America versus Iran. Brutal! All right, sorry, guys.
All right, so
you and that fucking camera, Gibbs. I don't know how you deal with that.
Oh, that one was on purpose, though.
Yeah,
the AI is getting a lot better. It's figuring it out things now. It's figuring it out. So I'm finally getting there.
So I have an airplane called a Long Easy, and it has rudders, but they're so the rudder only activates in one direction.
Okay.
So you don't use both pedals. So if I want right rudder, I push my right foot down. If I want left rudder, I push my left foot down, but not both feet. And
Sure.
And it's not like a conventional airplane. So only one, because if you activate, if they both, and they only go out, if they went in, that creates a serious issue aerodynamically.
It's like a NASCAR race. You only can go one fucking direction.
Well, with the elevator, with the rudders, you can, because and the rudders are pretty effective. But the interesting thing about it is when I land, you just go both feet in, and not only are you activating the brakes, but you're activating both rudders.
Oh, shit.
So you get more aerodynamic braking, and I have a basically a spoiler. What do we call it? An air brake underneath the airplane that I deploy, because the airplane doesn't want to quit flying without it. It's too slippery, so you have to use the air brake.
I flew. Now let's go a little bit smaller. I have a 40% extra in the RC world, because that is the only thing that I can really do by myself, right? Can't put the fucking thing together myself, but I'll tell you what, I'll make it dance. But the funny part was it came with an air brake, because if you're not used to flying RC thing, you put it going down, it's going to get speed. And it's just a thing with like a wiffle ball, basically, just straight across, right? And I had to use that to get used to the airplane, because technically, rather it being a model, it still is an aircraft. You can do theoretically the same thing. But I will tell you, for fact, Model airplanes do not like impact with planet.
It's true. I've done that before. It's expensive.
Oh, it can get expensive, especially whenever you have to call DA aircraft and say, "Hey, I fucked up my engine." Send it in. What did you do? Well, it had a little bit of a prop strike, and it's not straight anymore. It's got a 180-degree angle in it.
So, I'll put this in. Give me 1 second. I'll throw this up. So this is that's my long easy. What? It doesn't look like that anymore because I'm doing a long nose on it. So the nose is actually not on the airplane right now.
Is that a 2 position or 1 position?
It's 2.
I really can't tell. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm unfamiliar with the aircraft.
It's all right.
But that would be fucking cool.
It is pretty cool.
That's a pusher, right? Yeah, that was a pusher.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What do you find? Would you prefer over a 172 a pusher?
I prefer the long easy over almost everything because it's really easy to fly. It's right there in the name. And it's I don't know, it's a really good airplane overall. It's I don't know. It's just
they don't even make them anymore, do they?
Oh, you can build one. I mean, they're hand built. So.
Oh, right. That's just like a
It's experimental. It's a home built.
Oh, so you going to Oshkosh this year?
Not this year. I went a little while ago. I'll throw this up here. This is what it looks like in 3 dimensions.
Oh, okay.
I'm putting.
Is that a retractable nose gear?
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Yeah, and it's I have a rotary engine for it, so it's a
No,
by rotary I mean a Mazda engine. So this is that's what it used to look like. None of that's there anymore.
Sure.
That's all.
Are you going to all digital? Or did you go to all digital?
I'm doing a GRT 10-inch. I forget what they call it. Horizon 10.1, I guess is what they call it. I'm going to medium expensive stuff. Not like super expensive stuff, but like
you don't want a Garmin? Come on, man.
I thought about doing Garmin. The problem with Garmin is that they seem to have a strategy these days of changing things about every so often, and which in and of itself that's fine. I don't really care. But trying to make this bigger. Oh, there we go. So there we go. That's the business end.
Now all you need is the right prop and make it sound real fucking good.
It's a 3-bladed prop. But anyway, so it's cool. It's just a cool thing.
Oh, there was a panel that I liked. Wasn't a Garmin.
Speaking of panels, little change of subject. Someone said you had a rough time the other night there on something, and they didn't like the way you got bamboozled or something. You know what they were talking about, Spin?
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, there you go. I knew that we could get to that.
Oh boy.
You're welcome, chat. Let's get to the spicy. Come
on. Okay. Grid, you know me now as a pretty intelligent guy, but now comes the unintelligent, I want to fucking kill someone part of me.
In GTA, chat. In GTA.
Okay. Yeah, in GTA. So I made a remark, and yes, I know it's the internet, and yes, I should have a little bit of thicker skin. Okay. I for a long drawn out story is I was a professional firefighter and paramedic in a previous life. And then I made a very bad mistake. I lifted a bariatric patient that was stuck in between a door and a toilet, and I couldn't get her big ass out. I had very little help from my partner. She was about 130 pounds, soaking frickin' wet, and couldn't, and she would have hurt herself more than I thought I would have. So I made the critical thinking error of lifting this 400 to 500 pound big bitch to pretty much at the end of it all saved her life. So I lifted her. I brought her out of the situation that she was in, did my job, in turn broke my back doing it, literally. I mean, there's something called the golden hour, which in turn really means golden minutes. She was having the Widowmaker. I mean, I could see it on the monitor. I could. It was very evident that this bitch was going to die, and I'm there to assist in potentially not making this happen. So I did what I thought was right, and there's a gentleman out there. Gibbs, should I even mention that person? Or am I allowed?
Yeah, you can mention him. I mean, I don't.
You know who it is.
Grid is well aware who this person.
Admiral Gibbs.
Yeah, you can mention him. Yeah. I think you'll find it entertaining.
Ben Thorpe.
I knew you'd find. I knew. See, you would have just trusted Papa. I knew that there was something you would enjoy here, Grid.
Ben and Grace Thorpe. Now, the bitch wasn't bad at all. She actually was asking me intellectual questions, and she did not, in my sense, she didn't really say anything derogatory. She was just trying to find out and understand how this happened. Okay, whatever. Now, Ben Thorpe, on the other fucking hand, he started making fun of me. And yes, I do have thick skin, but when you are sitting there throwing in about other people's disabilities and then trying to chastise me for doing my job, I never really understood how low, or people not having any type of morality or conscience to say things of what he was saying to me. So at the end of the day, the conversation started about sucking off the government. That's how the whole thing started. And he accused people on the panel of sucking off the government because him, 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday, he's not at work. Well, I took a little offense to it, and that's how it started. And then he was trying to correlate.
Where was this at?
Jack Talcott.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So at the end of the day, he's a piece.
See what you've been missing.
At the end of the day, he's a piece of shit, and I have made it my personal mission to make sure he pays for that mistake.
It's not going to matter. I mean, look,
that's what I said.
The Thorpes just aren't worth it, man. I mean, they need that. The best thing you can do is just fucking ignore them completely. Don't ever mention them again. Just don't give them any oxygen, because literally they are all about the drama. And what they did is that's what they do. They go in, they say, hey, you're cool. Or Grace goes in, we'll know about you, this and that and the other thing. And then, Ben comes in and he's the asshole. You get pissed. You start a little feud. They make drama streams about you over and over again. They make you into a locale. They make money off of you. Don't do that.
Well, and I know, Grid, that I need to have a little more thick skin.
Not even a question of thick skin. It's just being aware of the reality of the internet, right?
But I've never met these people. Well, Grace, I can't say that. Sarah on the Raging Tomato, which I'm getting no perks by saying that, or whatever. That I met Grace there, and she seemed like she was pretty based that night. Then I go over there and I got an invite to go there because they were talking about my president, our daddy for the next 3 fucking years, whether people realize it or not. They were talking about him, and I logged into the YouTube, and this guy's up there just completely trashing him. So me, like a good sport, I go in there, get up on the panel, and just listen and listen and listen. And then I made the comment, and that's how it all started.
Yeah, I mean, again, I get it. I just, I personally, just from experience, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, that's what I told them. It's just like you're gonna go in there and you think you're gonna get in, and they're just like, the more like spooled up you get, the more they're winning because they like don't give a shit.
Yeah,
like they're just trying to get a rise out of you. That's why anytime they try to like engage with me, I just like go along with whatever they're saying. I'm like, haha, you got me. Like
legitimately that's the real deal.
Right, and everything, and that happened like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So then our wonderful Raging Tomato, or the Sleepy Tomato, came on. So I, in the background, told Sarah what happened, and she and I devised this plan to get these 2 morons on a panel, and it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, yet another reason, honestly, to just not, be involved with all that. Because look, you have to understand that there are content creators, like Gibbs. Like Gibbs is a content creator.
Sure.
And he doesn't need to go around and fuck with people and create drama and pick fights and
oh yes, he does. Right? That's his specialty. No, I'm joking, Gibbs.
I mean, sometimes, but it's like targeted, and I when I do drama, it's like my drama, right? Like I'm not like going over here and rage baiting people for just the sake of it. Like unless it's like on a panel or something, and it's like a debate and it's organized. That's one thing. It's another thing where you're like going and targeting people and you're trying to like make content out of like making this person so upset that they react in a certain way. Like that's totally different. Like there's people that do that, and so the way you like beat them is there is no beating them. Like it's kind of like when you play like in Russian roulette with 5 rounds and a 6-round thing. Everybody's gonna die. Like except they're gonna be like invincible to it because what's the worst you can do to them? Like they literally like their whole bit is like, oh yeah, are they incestuous? If they're willing to go that far, there's no amount that you can do to them that's going to be worse than what they're already doing to themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate.
Yeah, well, and I don't know very much about their lore or anything. I mean, I just know that's the general gist of everything I've been told. And so I'm like, if that's what they're going with their whole bit, then you're definitely not going to get them. Like no offense to you, not that I think you're dumb or something. I'm just like they're willing to go lower because why not?
Right. Well, in my defense, I didn't know it until it was too late. Respectfully.
Yeah. Hey, well, again, I mean, I think that all you have to really do is just keep in mind that.
Or Gibbs,
I'm listening.
Can you put Grid's YouTube link back?
His YouTube link?
Yeah.
Sure.
I want to. I mean, he let me come up here and talk like a normal human being without having to tell people to shut the fuck up.
So, but look, I'm just. Again, I don't want you to think that, I don't want you to think that you're like, that it's not worth taking seriously. I'm just telling you that I have seen a lot of stuff go on, and the Thorpes are just not not really worth the headache.
Right. Well, at the time, again, in my defense, I didn't know it, and I just gave you a sub there, Grid. I appreciate you, brother. And it just struck me. I get. Well, it didn't strike me as well. It struck me as odd a little bit, right?
Well, I think the reason it strikes you as odd is because, and I've got to go. Like, I've got a thing here. I've got to leave in like, well, actually now, but so this will be like the last thing I'm going to outro. But look, guys, here's the thing. Whatever you think is real, it's not. It's just scripted. It's all to get a reaction. It's all to make money on their part. They're very good at it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just I choose not to be a part of it. I encourage you to not be a part of it. You know, it's you know, it is.
It's just a different animal than like the panel people. They're not, it's
not what I'm into. It's not what I think most people really are into. You know, we want to have real conversations. We want to have real stuff go on, and you know, it just is what it is. So I've got to get out of here. I got to go. My son has clay sports practice today, and I have his shotgun, so I've got to show up. ZD Den is gifted 5 memberships, so let's see who gets those really quick, and then I've got to go. Why don't you guys give us some last?
Yeah, sure. I'll use some last thoughts. Yeah, guys, I'm going to keep going. I think we're going to marathon maybe the rest of the week. We're doing some cool stuff. We got a prime time debate panel tonight. I think it's over housing or some shit. I hope you're on there because you do the housing. And
I didn't think I was going to be in town. You could tell him that I'm back in town. I could.
I'll message him. So we'll hold on. I'll message him right now. But yeah, yeah. So check that out. It'll be good. That's at 7. Then I think we're gonna do something special. Like we're only like 7 or 8 subs away from this goal, and I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go old school classic games. We're gonna bring back the marathon. I might even bring a mattress in here. We're gonna do some other cool stuff. Just check it out. Come follow here. I'll be live all day on Twitch, maybe on YouTube at some point tonight as well.
Yeah.
And I shouted you out on Twitch. So I go follow Grid.
Yeah, Grid, it's good to get to know you and good to see you. And I think we have a lot in common other than the main forte, because I can't do it. But I'd love to come back up, and I think you're based as fuck, bro, just like Gibbs. And we need more of this, not the infighting and the bullshit.
Yeah, if I want to talk shit about Gibbs, I'll just call him.
Yeah,
talk shit directly to him.
Well, I'm not at that level yet
that
with Gibbs, but you know.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great show. I've had a lot of fun. I will not be back tomorrow as normal. I take Tuesdays off. It's just my thing. Wednesday, gun prattle in the afternoon, and then the Wednesday night show. We'll be talking mostly on gun prattle. We're mostly going to be talking about the match I just shot, and I'll have some footage from that edited up and all of that kind of cool stuff. In the meantime, you guys are super cool, and as always, you guys you're killing it out there. You're killing it, and I'm glad ZD Den has made the the members. She gifted 5 memberships. Every little bit helps. Keeps me motivated to do this. And so I got to get out of here. I got to go do dad stuff during dad times, and enjoy this outro while I get the fuck out of here. See you.
I'll give you.
Bro, I'm obviously not. I told you like multiple times that I'm not fucking like gonna respond to like. I can't understand like just a whole like wall of like text. You can like say something and respond or not, but I'm like you're like obviously I'm not gonna engage with your argument like that. Like what? Like that's so lame. That's